After a disappointing start to the 2015 season and an extra 24-hour delay due to lightning, we're finally ready to get things underway here from Harrison. Good night, everybody, and welcome to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth from Harrison as the 0-1 Highlanders take on the 0-1 Wildcats. Along my right tonight is the head coach, Tony Bray, filling in for Rob Dickinson, who's on the board, and I'm Rob Roberts. And before we talk about a week ago at Elder that we started to talk about last night, we got to talk about the 24-hour plus 27-hour now, basically, rain delay and how that affects the psyche of the team, because as a head coach, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have preparation, your body has, we've warmed up, we're ready to go, all of a sudden that's delayed. That really messes with the psyche of a team.
Yeah, definitely. Mentally, it messes with the psyche of the kids. You get your guys all ready to go on Friday night. They're out there warming up. Moments before kickoff, you're told that you have a 30-minute delay. 30 minutes turns into 60 minutes, turns into 27 hours. And so you have things that you have to do to re-prepare your kids, as Oak Hills did today, having their kids come in early, get that thing going on it just like they were in school. 8 o'clock in the morning, you're there, you're working out just like you're in school, get that psyche back ready for tonight.
And I ran into head coach Evan Dreyer about 20 minutes or so ago outside the locker room, and he had pretty good attitude about the whole thing. I mean, there's not a lot you can do, but one of the things I said jokingly, and I said, were you able to keep the cell phones away from the kids? And he goes, they were not allowed to bring them in the first place. And I thought that was smart. You're keeping them focused on the game. You keep them around the teammates. Now, you know, there's joking and laughing, and I won't confirm or deny a dance party might have broken out there for a second, but you have to, that they're loose, but it keeps the camaraderie. It keeps them together, and they're doing things as a team, and I thought it was a smart move. Keep the technology at home, road games, and one thing that I was taught very when I was coming up through high school was road trips are business trips, and that's how it is. This is a business trip. We're here to win.
Definitely. And when I was coaching, when you're on that bus coming to the game, there's no talking. Everybody's got to be focused. You know, get yourselves mentally prepared for your job for that particular evening. Same thing they've done here at Oak Hills tonight, but you want to keep the guys a little bit loose. It's a different type of an atmosphere. You've got Saturday night lights now instead of Friday night lights. So you want to allow them to relax a little bit.
You're talking about the focus. When you tell, 14 to 18-year-olds to focus is one thing, but when you're telling those kids to focus, but they also don't know when the 30 minutes is starting, when that 30-minute delay, how much time is left. It's hard to stay focused when you're looking at 2-3 hour rain delay twice in a row. So you have to do things to kind of to break things up.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know, in high school football, those kids are put in gymnasiums and things like that, where there's not a lot of other things to do. You got your cleats on. You don't want to be slipping and sliding all over the gymnasium floor. So again, it's kind of tough to keep these guys focused on what they should be doing.
And we haven't been told officially, but we're anticipating an approximate 8:15 start time. Some things that we heard that they're going to let the kids warm up inside the facilities, then come out to the field, and we should be ready. And after that, things should be to go as normal can be on a rain delay. But let's break down what we're going to see here tonight. A week ago, 56-14, the Highlanders fell. Scores can be deceiving. They had chances, they just didn't capitalize. And what we heard Coach Dreyer talk about last night, they only ran the ball 8 times last week. He's going to run it less tonight. Now, this is where it comes in. A wet field, it rained here last night. Right. It rained here the last half hour. Right. And gamesmanship, Harrison didn't cut the grass this week. It's going to negate some of that speed from Deshaun Lewis. You have to wonder if that's going to play in. Maybe he decides to run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the game plan from last night to today has probably changed quite a bit. Like you talked about, the field is a lot more soggy. And let's face it, Harrison is still using the natural grass. They haven't gone to the field turf that most high schools have gone to. So they're going to have those puddles of water and things like that on the field. So instead of throwing the ball maybe 60 times tonight, you may see them cut that back a little bit.
Now, the one advantage, and this could play into Coach Dreyer's philosophies with throwing the ball, the one advantage he has is the wide receivers know where they're going. DBs don't. You get a wet surface, back of your head, you're like, Do I have my footing? Where's the receiver going? Receiver knows. DB doesn't. That could be an advantage. Oak Hills in the passing game.
Well, I think that what will happen is Oak Hills may try and throw the ball a little bit early on to see if their wide receivers can catch their footing, because let's not forget, they have to cut as well. They've got to run those sharp out routes. They've got to get into those post routes and in routes. And so a lot of that is going to dictate whether or not Oak Hills decides to throw the ball or maybe go with a different type of an approach tonight.
Now on the other side, Harrison, we talked about it a little bit last night, blew a 9-point lead in the final 5 minutes. You have to wonder about their psyche coming into tonight after blowing a heartbreaking loss, especially to a rival in East Central Indiana. But their downfall last week, 11 penalties for 109 yards. If you're a Harrison fan, you have to clean up the mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone knows that the team that causes the most penalties are normally the team that loses the football games, Robin. So mentally, these guys have got to cut down on those turnovers, the offsides penalties and things like that you won't normally have in big games.
Now with that, Harrison, a team that likes to run the ball, their senior running back Alex Anderson, $118 a week ago, but here's a stat for you. 8 out of his last 11 games, over 100 yards rushing. On the other side, Highlander, very stingy defense in 2014. Last week against Elder, not so much. Against the run, 6.3 yards at average per rush that they gave up. Something has to give. You have to stop Anderson, make the former wide receiver Hogue beat you vertically.
Well, that's what makes games like this so intriguing, because you're going to have a team in Harrison that's going to try to slow down the tempo of an Oak Hills team that wants to throw the football quite a bit. That clock runs that much faster when you've got a kid like that running the ball over 100 yards every night.
And one other advantage, and I'm going to talk to Coach about it again, is last year at Western Brown, he put up 556 in the air, 7 passing touchdowns. Same coaches are here at Harrison, same scheme, same philosophy. You have to believe he's licking his chops, that he can work a little bit of that magic. He put up another 50 spot on his defense.
Yeah, I think that the only difference is you're talking about two separate quarterbacks in this situation. He's got a young sophomore quarterback. He's trying to, get going and learning a new system. So he may not want to put him in that same situation.
This is the 10th consecutive meeting, the final time these two teams will meet. Coming up, a 6-3 advantage in favor of the Highlanders, but Harrison with the 14-7 win a year to go to snap that 6-game win streak. When we come back, I'm going to go grab head coach Evan Dreyer, and we're going to talk about not only the delay, but the game tonight against Harrison. As you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth, you're listening to Highlander football on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Is Coca-Cola. Is it an excuse to get together? Since 1886, Coca-Cola has been passing on smiles from generation to generation. We've been giving kids scholarships, like the early birds and the all-nighters.
Oh, small community. Welcome back, Highlander fans. This is ESP Media. We're going to send it down to the field here with Rob Roberts and the Oak Hill Highlander head coach, Coach Dreyer.
Well, as the preview show goes along, now joined by the Highlanders head football coach Evan Dreyer. And Coach, kind of different circumstances. Today you get the rain out last night. They didn't play the game till almost 9 o'clock, pushed the game to Saturday. Football players, coaches, the creatures of habit. Talk about the mindset coming in tonight with a 24-hour delay.
I think we brought the boys in, trying to make it look like a school day early this morning, stretching out, and we created a schedule that was very similar to what we had yesterday to make sure that we're focused for the game. I'm excited to see we're mature enough to do a different schedule and see if our leadership showcases how focused we are for the night.
Now, do you think that the extra 24 hours, we'll call it 20 hours of extra prep time, might be helpful to go through an extra day of the game plan with all the sophomores that you play?
I think the biggest thing is that we can't overthink it. Tonight, we looked at it, thought to ourselves, if we go into more preparation, that could have hurt us negatively. So we stayed with our game plan, we just reviewed more and kind of just let our guys get focused and relax a little bit more.
All right, we take a look at tonight against a Harrison squad that surrendered a 9-point lead in the last 5 minutes. And once again, you're going with the sophomore Jacob Wookie. Talk about your progressions that you want to see him from tonight, going from week 1 into week 2.
I think Jake has to take care of he has got to know down and distance of what we want on certain downs, got to know situations when we get inside the red zone of what we want to go to and what we want to keep. So I think week 1 and week 2 is going to be a big focus on securing football, getting to our playmakers, and not letting the mistakes hurt us in the long run.
Speaking of your two playmakers, young sophomore Deshaun Lewis and your senior David Remington combined for 19 catches a week ago. The same playing this week, get the ball to them in open space and let their athletic ability do the rest.
I think we had spread well out. I think everybody talks about balance, running and passing, and we went the defense has to go with all 5 receivers. So we got to be able to throw to all 5 receivers and let Jake run the ball a little bit and Sean running the ball a little bit so we make them defend the field horizontally and vertically. So I'm interested to see how people defend this.
Now on the other side, we talked a little bit last night about how you're getting your defense lined up properly. A week ago, you gave up 6.5 yards a carry. Now you're going up against a senior talented running back, Alex Anderson. Last week went for $118, over 5 yards a carry, along with 38. How do you try to contain him?
I think our defense has to get a line properly. I think our defense has to tackle the ball in space. And I think he runs the ball very, very hard. We have to make sure that he doesn't make a lot of yards out runs after contact. We got to get him to the ground as soon as possible and get them second and third down situations.
Now, they have an interesting situation at quarterback. Their quarterback, Mitchell Hogue, a year ago was Division II third-team All-State as a wide receiver, just 17 attempts a week ago, just a week of footage on him. How do you approach the unknowns of their quarterback?
I played against Mitch last year. I think Mitch is a great athlete, great player, great competitor. I think he does a lot of things with the ball very well. So we're going to have to continue in the pocket. We're going to have to create situations where we can expect him to sit in the pocket and either blitz or play coverage against him. We're going to put him in situations that he's not accustomed to.
Now, speaking of your experience against Harrison, last year with Western Brown, you were able to roll up 556 yards of offense through 7 touchdowns. Any of that, you were able to take any of that and put it into this year? Because seeing coaching staff over at Harrison, so you get to believe it's a lot of the same philosophy.
I think their philosophy was blitz a lot and pressure our quarterback, and now it's going to be interesting to see how much pressure they bring tonight versus Jake. Or if they say can Jake beat us on ground and through the air over and over again. I think they're going to say, is Jake working in the consistent through 4 quarters?
That's Coach Evan Dreyer. When we come back, it's time for kickoff. It's Oak Hills, it's Harrison, and what's next on the Oak Hills Broadcast Network.
There's a black man with a black cat living on blind neighborhood. He's got an interstate running through his place for you and me. Oh yeah, for you and me. Well, there's a young man in a t-shirt, list to rock and roll station. He's got a breezy hair, breezy smile. He says, Lord, this must be my destination. Cause he told me when I was younger, said, boy, you're gonna be president. But just like everything else, those old crazy dreams just kinda came and went. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America something to see, baby? Ain't that America home of the free? Yeah, little big houses for you. Oh, little baby, for you and me. Well, there's people and more people. What do they know? No, no. Go to work in some high rise and vacation down at the Gulf of Mexico. Oh yeah. And there's winners and there's losers, but that ain't no big deal. Cause a simple man, baby, pays the thrills, the bills that kill. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America something to see, baby? Ain't that America home of the free?
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth as we're just a few minutes away from kickoff as both teams have finally taken the field and finished in their final minutes of stretch. And Coach, always interesting to see how teams react when they're put in awkward and different situations that they're not used to. After sitting around for about, I will call it about 2 hours, you're finally able to come out and start moving. You have to be careful, I think, of coming out overhyped. Too much adrenaline, get too much rush in that opening drive. It's going to be interesting to see which team keeps their composure early.
Yeah, one advantage for both teams actually tonight is that they didn't actually get started last night, Rob. So you don't have one team that may have been winning last night and the other losing, or vice versa. The game never got started last night, and so you've got the regeneration, the rehype of all of last night's enthusiasm before the game started.
I'm still interested to see how the playing conditions do affect some of the play calling for Evan Dreyer. He wants to air it out. There's Texas Tech, Baylor, that's what he wants to do. He wants to throw it 50 to 70 times a game, and he's going to throw it, he's going to throw it, he's going to throw it some more, but you get a slick surface. It's been raining.
Yes. And
we know what happens when it goes from daylight to nighttime. You get that mist on the ball. All of a sudden, it's a little bit slippier, and I know as much as you want to throw it, but sometimes you have to change plans on the fly. You might have to run the ball a little bit more than you want to.
Yeah, and on a night like tonight where we had high humidity earlier, the humidity is down. It's a perfect football night here at Harrison High School, and when you get that wet football along with some damp temperatures where it's cooled off a little bit, that ball becomes a little bit harder and a lot more slippery.
Now, the one thing you did that didn't take away from the atmosphere, it might be Saturday night, but you heard the eruption when Harrison took the field. I mean, 24 hours of pent-up frustration for the fans as well, and it's going to be a good one tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's had an extra 24 hours to get themselves prepared, get themselves ready for a nice crosstown rivalry. We should have a good football game tonight.
Now, I talked to the coach about that, and as speaking of the rain, it's raining right now. It's coming down in sheets all of a sudden. But you have to wonder, maybe if that extra time helped a young sophomore in his second start. It could have both effects. You overthink things, or you take it from a rookie's point of view, able to see a few things, walk through the game plan one more time, more comfortable with how things are going to play out.
Well, I think sometimes you just have to let things play out the way that they're going to play out. Coach talked a little bit in the pregame interview about not overcoaching, about not going back over and trying to redo some things. They have a game plan intact. They worked it well all week. Allow him to allow his mind to settle in and get ready for this big football game.
Coach's mind's running a mile a minute. You know that.
Always.
They always overthink. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff, and when we come back, hopefully, we have some football for you as you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
sits alone by a lamppost, trying to find a thought that's escaped her mind. She says, there's the one I love the most, but life's not far behind. She never lets me here, only tells me where she's been when she's had too much to drink. I say that I don't care, I just run my hands through a dark hair that I pray to God you gotta help me fly away and just let her cry. Make the tears fall down my way, let her sing. If it eases all her pain, let her go. Let her walk right out on me. And if the sun comes up tomorrow, let her ring. Let her ring. This morning I woke up alone, following her standing by the phone, saying, baby, maybe I'll be back someday. I wanted to look for you, you walked in, I didn't know just what I should do, so I sat back down and had a beer and felt sorry for myself, saying, let her cry. If the tears fall down my way, let her sing. If it eases all her pain, let her go. Let her walk right out on me. And if the sun goes up tomorrow, let her ring. Let her ring. Tears fall down my way, let her sing. If it eases all her pain, let her go. Let her walk right out on me. And if the sun comes up tomorrow, let her ring. Last night I tried to leave, cried so much I could not believe. She was the same girl I fell in love with long ago. She went in the back to get high. I sat down on my couch and cried, yeah. Oh, mama, please help me. Don't you hold my hand, let her cry. If the tears fall down my way, let her sing. If it eases all her pain, let her go. Let her walk right out on me. And if the sun comes up tomorrow, let her ring. Let her cry. If the tears fall down my way, let her sing. If it eases all her pain, let her go. Let her walk right out on me. If the sun comes up tomorrow, let her ring. Oh, let her ring. This next song's from my father, Bob. And he thought he was Italian.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth as we are finally just a couple moments away from finally kicking off Oak Hills versus Harrison. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast booth. To my right tonight is the head coach, Tony Bray, filling in for Rob Dickinson. And I'm Rob Roberts. And been a long time coming, but you know what? There still might be a little miss, but the stands are packed. It's a lively atmosphere, and one of the more anticipated scoring matches of the weekend. We should have a good one tonight.
Yeah, we should. Even with the weather, the rain last night, the rain earlier today, things are starting to cool down a little bit out here, Rob. It's time for some football.
Finally, time for some football, and we're going to get our first look as Oak Hills will get the ball to receive, and we already know how it all starts. Starts with the sophomore quarterback, Jacob Wilkie, and we'll go over his stats in a moment, but you always have to watch for the ever-dangerous 28 Deshaun Lewis back to receive. Elder did a good job a week ago of keeping the ball out of his hands on the kickoffs as he was just putting them out of the back of the end zone. Highland James, 34, will handle the kickoff duties. Of course, James, also the leading wide receiver. He had 3 catches for 59 yards. How about this? He touched the ball 5 times last week, 154 total purpose yards. The right footer puts his foot into it. It's a low line drive, end over end kick, bounces it to 10. Lewis picks it up at the 5, and we're finally underway. Out across the 15 to the 20. Tries to get to the corner, trying to make a man miss, able to do so. Hits the circle button out to the 18-yard line, and we're getting our first look this week at the sophomore quarterback, Jacob Wilkie, 15, coming off a 30 for 46 performance, 65%. 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 229 yards, which leads the conference. And your first look at 5 wide all night long.
It's going to be interesting to see how he opens up tonight after throwing 4 interceptions a week ago. Hopefully he'll have a little bit of time. He's had a little bit of time to calm down, get himself together, and take better care of that football tonight.
Of the 30 completions a week ago, 19 went to 2 players. 11 went to 28 to Sean Lewis, and 8 went to 20 David Rennington. As we do a quick pitch around the end on a shovel pass out for about 12 yards to Kyle Montage, the junior tailback. A little wrinkle there. Yeah, shovel pass on the in or out.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame. Coach Dreyer saying that he didn't want to run the football, but opens up the game 5 wide and comes across with the little run play there.
No huddle offense once again. Trips to the bottom. Wokey looking over the middle. He's got a receiver. He was looking for Lewis. Instead, that's batted down, and that will set up a 3rd down. We'll call it about 4 to go as we go straight no huddle again. Wokey stays in that shotgun formation. He's standing at the 20. Highlanders moving right to left with the black pants, white jerseys, with the red numbers, black trim, black helmets, with the Highlander logo on the side and a tin of red now at the bottom. Trips to the bottom, 2 up top. Wokey standing by himself at the 20. Barks out his final signals as the Wildcats rush 3, drop back into the dime. Jake takes it, fakes it. He's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he's going to be stood up by a host of Wildcats. He might have lost a yard back to the 25, and it's going to be 3 and out for the Highlanders. But hold on, we still have not yet seen Rockwood and the rest of the kick team, and they're going to go for it. 4th down, 5 to go, and Dreyer and company rolling the dice. They look to the sidelines. They get the final signals. Kind of a surprise call here on 4th down and 5 on your own 25.
Yeah, definitely too early for this, but we'll see how it turns out.
Trips to the bottom. They do a swing pass to Lewis. Makes the first man miss. Makes the second man miss. And he is going to be about a half yard short. It's going to depend on the spot, but he made 4 Wildcats miss to make it even look close.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Dreyer wants to see from his star running back, and it looks like he may have gotten just enough for the first down.
Now, that's not... That's the kind of play I would like to have seen on a 3rd down, but I get it. They only rush in 3 to go with Wokey, but able to pick it up. That's a huge roll of the dice for Dreyer and his offense as they stay 5 wide. This time trips to the top as the Highlanders move right to left, opening quarter. 10:35 to go and counting. Wokey looks to his right. Now he's going over the middle. That ball slipped out of his hands, and that one's going to be picked off at the 47. But don't look too far because this one's coming back. It was picked off in the defensive backfield by Hayden Ellis.
And we've also got action in the backfield, the offensive backfield. Looks like there may have been a fight and flags were flying there.
The one flag at the 50 appears to be defensive holding as the DB just dropped the ball, but we also have a flag that you talked about at the 30, and this could just be offsetting.
Yeah, it looks like we may get a pass interference call on the defense, but not exactly sure what the call is in the offensive backfield.
For a guy that throws a crisp ball in Wokey.
Looks like both penalties are going up. Both penalties against Harrison here.
But the ball came out of his hand, and that's where we talk about that wet ball on the deep ball. Not too much the bubble screens and your quick slant, but you saw it there in the deep ball. It just didn't come out with that same crispness.
Yeah, it's not going to when you've got a wet football, so it's going to be important for whoever the ball boys are tonight in this football game that they keep those balls dry. They keep a dry towel, got a football in their hand, they're rubbing it down, keeping it dry as possible for these quarterbacks to throw tonight.
So they mark off the 15-yard penalty, and Oak Hills is going to have a 1st and 10 right around midfield as they're getting 30 yards of penalties. The other one was a dead ball foul, so 33 yards in field position, and if you're Oak Hills, you have to capitalize here, getting free 30 yards like that.
Well, we talked about penalties in the pregame, over 100 yards in penalties last week against Harrison, and they're starting off the same way here tonight with 30 yards on the first penalty.
Wokey's going to keep it himself. He stretches forward to the 35. He's going to pick up 5 yards, and you're showing that versatility. Not the quickest, but he's still able to pick up 5-6 yards. It keeps those linebackers honest.
And that's exactly what that does. It's going to keep those linebackers from being able to blitz as he runs right up the middle on a design quarterback draw.
And he's going to do it again, and he's going to fall forward. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be third down. We'll call it 2. Ball at the 32. 9:57 to go in the opening quarters. The Highlanders look to put a dent in the scoreboard.
And what Oak Hills is doing right now, they're putting themselves in very convertible third down opportunities, sitting here with a 3rd and 2.
Third down, 2 to go. They're going to give it to Lewis. Lewis, he's going to have the first down right at the sticks. And as long as he hit the chalk, they should have the first down. And he's going to have a first down as they move the chains for the second time. Technically, it's their third first down, but the second time on their own doing.
Looks like they're going to measure this, Rob. It's too close to call.
My eyesight says it's a first down to touch the chalk. Now we're just wasting time.
Well, the referees have had to wait 27 hours as well, so
that's what they should be wanting to move this game along.
They're trying to have their fun as well, Rob.
Hey, it's a holiday weekend. 9:26 to go in the opening quarter, and Oak Hill's off to a good start. We talked about taking some of the air out of the ball, and we're seeing it. I'm not surprised that Wokey's running the ball, but I thought maybe we see more Deshaun Lewis because he has that game-breaking speed.
Well, I think that maybe Harrison was expecting to see a little bit more of Lewis as well. This is a great job of coaching here early on, allowing the quarterback to run those design quarterback draws. You got a 3-man front with the middle linebacker, so the odds favor the draw, and Oak Hills is taking advantage of that right now.
They're a credit card width away from a first down. Now, this is where the spread kind of can hurt you with that physicality up front, and when you're not used to taking that snap from under center, yeah, quarterback sneak's not always the best thing, and they're going to stay in shotgun formation. Empty backfield. Harrison keeps the linebackers in the rushing 5. Wokey stands on the 35. Gets the final barks from the sideline, trying to draw Harrison offside. Almost did. Walks back to the line, barking out new signals. 9:25 to go, and he takes the snap, and he's going to be pushed backwards, and he might not have got it. And Harrison celebrating like he didn't get it, and I don't think he got it. He lost a half yard. It's going to be 1st and 10, Harrison, as they turn the ball over on downs with 9:18 to go.
Looks like they're going to measure again here. No, they're not. We finally get the signal. Harrison ball.
He lost about a half a football there, and we talked about it, and that's the one disadvantage to the spread is you're not used to that double tight end set. Let's move that ball forward, but they had chances on the drive, and it was a good start. You're able to get some change. You're able to flip the field position because a week ago, a lot of short possessions for the outer offense. As we got our first look at Mitchell Hogue, the senior quarterback, the wide receiver from a year ago, just 6 of 17 a week ago for 35%. Did throw for a $135 with a touchdown and a pick. Alex Anderson, 29, though, is the workhorse. 22 carries a week ago. First play, 1 carry. He hops it to the outside. He's got the first down and more. Out across the 45 to the 50. Foot race. He steps out of bounds at the 43. Otherwise, he might have had 6. Wow. He hit that corner fast.
Yeah, and he did an excellent job of reading his blocks, bounced outside, and that was nothing more than a cross dive, Rob, that he was able to take for about 25 yards to gain Harrison's first down of tonight.
Officially 24 yards to the 46-yard line. At first, when they blew the whistle, I thought he was inside the 40. But still a heck of a pickup for Harrison on their opening drive. Anderson to the left, Hogan, that pistol formation, standing at the 50. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. They go right back to Anderson again, and this time he stood up on the interior of that Highlander defensive line in their first. 32 on the tackle.
One thing that's different between these two teams is when you're running that pistol offense, now the defense has to be aware of a running back. In Oak Hill's offense, they're running 5 receivers, so there is no running back, Rob.
Nick Malone, first man on the spot for the Highlanders. as they go right back into the shotgun formation, which is what you see a lot now, is a quick swing pass out to the near side to Lewis. He tries to break a tackle, able to falls forward, and he's going to have plenty of yards for a first down, and might want to be a little slow down in that post-catch celebrations. They don't like that too much at the high school level.
Yeah, you may find yourself getting flagged for a 15-yarder with celebrations at the high school level.
Tylen James, his fourth catch of the year. We talked about the top 3 catches a week ago for 59 yards, but 154 all-purpose yards on 5 touches. That's not a bad night for James. He's got the big playability as Anderson sits behind Hogue. Pistol formation yet once again. Anderson stands on the 40. Hogue's going to keep it as he took it out of the belly. He's got some running lane down to the 24-yard line, and right there he gets that open space, showing you what he could do as a wide receiver in the opening field. He knows how to run the ball.
Well, it's like I talked about moments ago. With this Harrison offense, they're running a pistol power offense, and so you've got to worry about that running back. They've come with the running back on the cross dive a couple of times. This time, Hogue keeps the ball, pulls it out, gets around that right side, and has a substantial gain.
We have an official timeout on the field. Ball's at the 24-yard line, 7:54 to go in the opening quarter, as we're going to get another measurement. Never remember seeing so many measurements to start a game. And this one's going to be, well, short. And it's going to be short. See, they didn't need to pull up the chains. I told them what it was. That'll set up a second down. We'll call it about 2 chain links. Ball's at the 24. Harrison moving left to right. Green jerseys, white pants, black numbers with the white trim, with the black helmet, with the Harrison logo on the side. They look to the armbands. They get the signal. Anderson to the right of Hogue. James lined up in the H-black back, 2 at the top, single to the bottom. Hogue gets that snap, fakes it. He wants to go deep. He's looking down the slot. He overthrows his target. He had a receiver around the 5-yard line, unable to hook up with Gerald Smith. The 5'10 sophomore overthrows him. Very fortunate that they played that cover 0 quarters press zone scheme. Otherwise, that would have been an easy pick.
That's simple post route there. He had his receiver open, but we've talked about the wet footballs already today. That one looked like it got away from Hogue.
Third down, 1 to go, 7:38 to go in the opening quarter. Hogue saves in that pistol formation. He's going to be there all night. Hands off to Anderson, and Anderson has the first down and more, as the set interior of the defensive line was finally able to get there, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Tyler Parrish, the 194-pound junior linebacker, Johnny on the spot, picks up 3 first and 10 Wildcats just outside the red zone and at the 21. Just simple dive plays.
Yeah, simple cross dive plays. We've talked about it before, and they're having a lot of success with it here on their opening drive.
If it's not broke, don't fix it if you're a Wildcat fan. To the left now this time is Anderson. Instead, they go jet sweep with the man they just missed a moment ago. He hops to the outside. He's to the 10, to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Harrison, on a 21-yard jet sweep by Gerald Smith. Well, if you can't throw it to him, just jet sweep him. Either way, it's a Wildcat touchdown.
Well, what they just showed us, Harrison, is that they've got to get this young man the football. Couldn't get it to him on the screen pass a little while ago or on the post, so they come back with the jet sweep, as you talked about. That tight end on the backside right there. Great hook block, Rob. Sprung him. He did the rest on his own.
Now the extra point by James, sorry. It's as simple as snap, hold, kick in this league. And there's a snap, there's the hold, and there's the kick. Actually, a new kicker on for Harrison. That is Kyle Farsing, the freshman. And he puts it through the uprights. Our new score after a 21-yard Smith run. It's home Harrison 7. The visiting Highlanders nothing. As you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
This next song is from my father, Bob. And he thought he was Italian. All he listened to was the opera. And his son grew up and wanted to live the opera. You think about the stuff you're telling me.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. Our new score after a Gerald Smith 21-yard jet sweep touchdown run is Harrison 7 and Oak Hills nothing as Tylen James gets ready to kick it off. Lewis back deep to receive. He's standing at the 5-yard line as Oak Hills will look to capitalize on offensive possession number 2. They had chances on that opening drive, just didn't capitalize there at the end.
Well, they had really good field position after 30 yards and penalties. Put them inside Harrison's 40-yard line. They came up a little short on a 4th down opportunity.
Puts his right foot into it, just James. Lewis picks it up at the 10, out across the 15 to the 20. Picks up a nice block at 25. He had it seam out to the 23-yard line. Looked like he had a chance to break it. Actually, Caleb Hudson was back to receive. A little curveball there. Of course, we saw Caleb Hudson a week ago playing both offense and defense. The talented defensive back. A defensive back a year ago that was 3rd in the conference in interceptions and all-around athlete, just a good football player, able to get that return, and really was just an ankle tackle away from taking that one to the house. So 1st and 10 now. Highlanders still moving right to left. Balls at the 32-yard line. Rookie in the shotgun formation. Lewis splits out that way. They're going to do a quick screen pass out to him at the 35 to the 36. And that's pretty close to being hit out of bounds, but they're going to say it was close enough. He picks up 5, and good play on 1st down.
Yeah, definitely. You want to get those positive yards. Looks like they picked up about 3 or 4 on the little swing pass right there to the running back.
They always say you never want to play behind the chains. Behind the chains, to me, anything more than 6 yards on 2nd down, and they're able to keep this at 2nd, and actually they're going to mark it 7. They're going to say he stepped out at the 37. Looked like he was closer to the 40, but they have the better vantage point. His rookie now gets the signals as Lewis splits out to the top. Now they have to wait a complete 2nd, and they do that. As Lewis split all the way to the top, they throw that way. That ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Good play on the outside edge by defensive end Austin Silcox, the 6'3 sophomore, able to bat that down. Hands up if you can't get to the quarterback.
That's exactly right. You're taught that at a young age. If you play defensive end, you want to get out there. If you can't get to the quarterback, get those hands in the air. He did just that and knocked the ball down.
We're going to call a 3rd down and 6 to go. 6:48 to go in the opening quarter. Ball just outside the 36. Wokey looking to his right, comes back to the right to White, and he picks up a beautiful gain to the 50, the 40, he falls loose. Smith hops on it, but who has it? It looks like Oak Hills recovers at the 47. He might have been down by contact anyways, but we talk about using Lewis as a decoy, slipped in White, 2nd straight week it worked.
Nice wide receiver screen, a middle screen. Did an excellent job picking up blocks right there. Has a substantial gain and a 1st down.
Worked beautifully as he caught it. All of a sudden, those picks are sitting right there waiting to hit the DBs and the linebackers. Is Wokey now. He's going to keep it himself. Straight up to go along the right side. He's going to pick up. We'll give him 3 yards. Good pick up down to the 43. That'll set up 2nd and 7. 6:25 to go in the opening quarter.
A design quarterback draw yet again. It looks like Oak Hills, they're trying to set something up with this design quarterback draw. So expect him to maybe step up and back and throw it deep later on in this football game.
He fakes. Now he's going to go down the middle. Beautiful pitch and catch down to the 30-yard line. 16 yards to Kyle Montag. His 2nd catch of the night. Of course, he started the opening play of the game on a shovel pass, but nice rhythm there. Now you see that potential he sees in his young sophomore quarterback.
One thing that you have to see early on is that Harrison was playing a cover 0 with no safety, and they're attacking that with the slant.
Lewis comes out of the backfield, comes straight to the bottom of to the field. He looks that way, and he's able to throw. He's got a receiver in the middle of the field, able to hold on to it. He bobbled it a couple times his right, but he's able to hold on to it, and another 1st down. Pressure was coming off the right side. He stayed strong in the pocket, stepped up, and threw a beautiful ball.
Well, he's doing an excellent job of reading the coverage, as now we're seeing Harrison going to a 2-safety deep set because that slant is going to be out open all day long.
They're down to 19. Wokey's going to keep it himself, hops to the outside before he is just tattooed after he only picked up a yard. Looked like he might might have more than that, but Austin Silcox batted the ball down a couple plays ago. This time with a "How do you like me now" hit there at the 18, dropping the young sophomore.
That's exactly what Harrison's front three are going to have to continue to do, because now with two deep, he can run the football.
Rookie trying to set the screen pass, able to do so to Montag, and he is going to be suplexed down at the 16-yard line, actually 7. Jason Smith, a guy that was used, had a handful of catches a week ago, and that's going to set up a third down, and we'll call it about 7. The ball's at the 16-yard line, under 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Oak Hill's looking to cap off a 70-yard drive. Barks out the signals, now looks back to the sideline to get the final call as he stands in the shotgun formation. Wookie now he looks to the right, tries to set up a quick screen, able to hit his wide receiver, and he slips the tackle. There he goes! He's into the end zone! Touchdown! Highlanders! A broken tackle on a quick hitter, walks into the end zone, and the Highlanders are an extra point away from tying this game up on a 16-yard pitch and catch.
Yeah, basically that was a quick hitch. Harrison's playing a cover one right now, and so if Harrison can't make those open field tackles, we can see these receivers breaking out on runs like that the remainder of the night.
They're going to go for two. That was Montag with the catch as Wookie looks to his left, and he's got a receiver, but just out of the way of Montage, who just caught the 16-yard touchdown pass, but our new score after a 16-yard pitch and catch, his third touchdown pass of the year. With 4:33 to go, it's Harrison 7, Oak Hill 6. As you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network. Was it Montag 5?
Staring back at me. Did you see my lips? Oh, you're smiling right in front of me. If I could call.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth after a Wookie to Montag 16-yard touchdown pass, capping off a beautiful drive where this young sophomore was 5 of 6. They go for 2, they don't get it, but it was nice to see the offense finish off a drive.
Yeah, definitely. You come back after giving up an opening drive touchdown. You fall short on your opening drive, but you stand tall right there, come back and get 6 points.
And they kick up a beautiful high end-over-end kick, and that's going to send Harrison back. And at the high school level, once across the goal line, that ball's dead. And Harrison's going to start off their drive 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. You have to believe a lot of Anderson, a lot of Hogue, and a little bit of Smith.
Well, we'll get a chance to see them have to go the distance of the field this time. Their opening drive, they had excellent field position starting outside of their own 30-yard line. So we'll have to see if they can continue the way that they did in their opening drive.
Harrison still moving left to right. Mitchell Hogue, the senior quarterback, we talked about at the top a year ago, Division II, third team All-State, wide receiver. See what they do here is Anderson's to the left, and they're going to give him the ball straight up the gut. Hops to the outside, not going anywhere as he is stood up on the interior of the defensive line. Finn Jonathan and company able to hop in there, along with Nick Malone, able to shut him down.
One thing that you must have when you're playing a three-man front is an awesome nose guard. Nose guard that time for Oak Hill's been able to get penetration and cause havoc in the backfield.
Actually, it was Kevin Warfel, 25, was the first one on the spot, and that's going to keep him at 2nd and 10 after no gain. Shotgun formation. Mitchell Hogue rolls to his left. He's got a receiver wide open. That's James out to the 35. That's a 15-yard pitch and catch. Finally tackled by Caleb Hudson, but not before he picks up 15 yards, and that's a first down.
Excellent job of reading the coverage right there as the linebackers were dropping. Quick slant, he'll get a first down.
3:48 to go in the opening quarter as Harrison's now on the move after a 15-yard pitch and catch. James already has 2 catches after 154 all-purpose yards a week ago. Harrison moving left to right, trips to the top as they have the ball in the right hash mark, single receiver to the bottom, Anderson to the left of Hogue. And they're going to fake it to Anderson, who picks up the blitz, rolls over, he just got James. Very, very fortunate that James still has a helmet as he let him out to dry, and Oak Hills and company was sitting there waiting for him. 13 out there, Sawyer Klinglenhofer, Mr. Dickinson's favorite player from a year ago, keeps it to a gain of about 2. Second down, 8 to go. Ball's at the 38-yard line, called 37 and a half. As Mitchell Hogue barks out the signal this time with the ball on the left hash mark, trips to the bottom to the near side from our vantage point. Quick screen out to the left to Gerald, and this time he has stood up, and we heard that hit all the way up here. 59, Ben McGinnis wasn't having none of that. All 212 pounds of that 6-foot senior, but unfortunately there's a flag back at the 42, but it looks like Oak Hill's starting to pads popping a little bit more this drive.
Yeah, excellent job of reading that quick screen right there, and that was actually a defensive end or outside linebacker coming out there making that stop. Looks like it may be contact to the head against Oak Hills, which is going to negate an awesome play and give Harrison a first down.
Unfortunate penalty there is going to move the ball to the right side of the field. Harrison now in Highlander territory at the 49 with 2:47 to go, and still good defensive recognition there by the Highlanders. McGinnis still brought the lumber, but it'll be a 1st and 10 for Harrison as they keep the ball in the right hash mark. 2 receivers to the bottom. James in the H-back position. Anderson to the left of Mitchell Hogue. Play gets whistled in. Mitchell Hogue takes that snap, hands off to Anderson, makes a man miss in the backfield, able to pick up 3 or 4 yards, and that's a late flag in the area of holding. Jared Francis, number 4, able to wrap him up, but Anderson lucky he even got what he did before the flag came down, as Highlanders were in the backfield, and that's what we're accustomed to by this Highlander defense, living in people's backfields.
Yeah, they are just flying to the football. We're seeing linebackers, we're seeing safeties, everybody attacking the football. That's how you play defense.
I think more so in week 3 and 4, when you get new coaches, new schemes, new ways of doing things, new philosophies. By week 2 and 3, you're not thinking. You're just reacting. And all of a sudden you're playing football. The less thinking you do, the better football player you're going to be.
Right. I think that the more confidence you get in the guys that you're playing with, it allows you to play a little bit more freely. And that's what these kids are doing right now in Oak Hills.
And more confidence in the coaches that are doing it. Exactly. It takes a while to build that trust when you get a whole new regime. And definitely a different team here in the last part of the first quarter. 2:30 to go. Mitchell Hogue rolls to his left. Pressure straight up the gut. He avoids the first man, able to pick up 5-6 yards. Actually picks up 10 yards out to the 50 as he made 6 different Highlanders miss before Finn Jonathan, 22, was able to wrap him up. But the Highlanders were in the backfield. They had a chance, just weren't able to bring him down.
Yeah, again, with the wet conditions, they're sliding off of him. He's doing an excellent job giving good second and third efforts to pick up extra yardage.
Second down, 11 to go. Nose of the football's touching the 50. Right hash mark nearest to us, which is right behind the Oak Hills bench. Second down, 11 to go. Anderson to the left of Mitchell Hogue. They send motion with James, right to left. Now comes back to the right. They're going to hand it off to Anderson, trying to pick up something, able to slip for about 3 yards. Good pressure up the middle. Jared Francis, once again, number 4, the defensive lineman, able to get in the backfield, hold that to a couple-yard gain.
Yeah, Oak Hills is doing an excellent job right now in this 3-4 defense. I tell my guys all the time, in the 3-4 defense, you're guaranteed to give up 3 yards a play, but Oak Hills is making sure that they're getting no more.
Well, with the one thing you want to guard against with all that defensive pressure, they're going to slip that screen in on them one time to try to slow down that pass rush. Let's see if they do it here. Third down, 8 to go. Ball's on the 47-yard line. Mitchell Hogue sends James in motion from right to left. He looks that way to his left. Now he's going to roll that way. Good pressure up the middle by Jared Francis. Mitchell's going to keep it running, but there's Highlanders everywhere, and he just got tattooed as he met 59. Ben McGinnis once again. No gain on the play. Fourth down for Harrison.
It looks like we've got a flag on the play back in the defensive backfield this time.
And it's going to be on Oak Hills at the 32, and another defensive great stand. All of a sudden, a late flag that comes in back at the 32, and That's discouraging for a defense when you get off the field a couple times and you're still out there.
Well, sometimes when you got a quarterback running around like that, defensive players tend to start to grab a little bit, and so you're going to get defensive holding in the defensive backfield.
Harrison now with the 1st and 10. Ball's down at the 37-yard line as they continue to move left to right. An unfortunate penalty for the second time against the Highlanders is Francis and company, and McGinnis just brought the lumber at the end of that. He wasn't having no part of Mitchell Hogue slipping out of a tackle that time. But at the end of the day, it's a defensive holding call, and it's going to be 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. 37-yard line, right hash mark. They bring James in motion from left to right to set up trips at the bottom. Mitchell Hogue looking that way, and he's got Klingenhofer back at the 49. Drops the senior quarterback. A loss of 12. It was like a jailbreak. 3 Highlanders in the backfield.
Definitely an excellent call by the defensive coordinator right there. Taking a chance. It's risk plus reward. They get out there and make a play. Put Harrison in a bad situation here on 2nd and about 20.
But the coach talked about in the pregame, he doesn't have a lot of experience at quarterback. Let's send the house and let's see what that young man can do. And that time, he didn't do anything. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. With our score, it's Harrison 7, Oak Hill 6 on the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. You're listening to Highlander Football on the ESP Media Sports Network. Welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. We'll get ready to get underway here. Quarter number 2, 7-6 Harrison, and another good offensive output there by the Highlanders in the first quarter, able to capitalize, but now we're starting to see that Highlander defense come into life a little bit. The defense we saw a year ago that didn't take any prisoners, and right now Mitchell Hogue is on the back end of that after an 11-yard loss after he met Klingenhofer in the backfield. Hogue's going to roll to his right. Here they come again, straight up the gut. Very fortunate that wasn't a block in the back, and that's exactly what Tyler Parrish, he looks at the head official. The offensive lineman extended both hands into the back. They let it go. Very fortunate that Jared Francis didn't pick that ball off. And it's 3rd and 21. But when you extend both hands in the middle of the field like that, you expect to see a flag.
Yeah, definitely should have been called block in the back right there. Illegal use of the hands. One of those two. The referee missed that one. It's going to set up still a 3rd and very long for Harrison.
3rd and 21. Ball's on the 49-yard line as Harrison's now moving right to left. They send Smith in motion on the jet sweep, and he's going to keep it himself out across the 45. And Jared Francis there again, along with McGinnis, and they've been very active. He's only going to pick up 6 yards to the 43, and you have to punt this ball if you're Harrison. And on a 4th down, you're looking at about 15 yards.
Well, it doesn't look like Harrison is bringing anybody out. They're at their own at the 44-yard line as they start to come out.
But what you see a lot on this side of the field, though, you just have your quarterback take 2 steps back and just punt it away. We saw it, if anybody was watching some of the college football earlier, Trey Roberson, the quarterback from Illinois State, did that early in the first quarter on a 4th down and about their own 39-yard line. As James stands back in his own 43, he puts his right foot into this one. A beautiful spiral. Sends Lewis back to his own 5-yard line, and he's going down there. And that's one of those. As you're taught, if you're on the 10 and it goes over your head, you got to let that go. Instead, he fields it. It's going to be not very good field position for the Highlanders. 11:03 to go here in the second quarter, and with the ball that pinned that far deep, it might change the way you call some plays for Coach Dreyer.
I'm not sure if Coach Dreyer is going to want to try to throw the football down inside your own 5-yard line. But again, punt returner learns at a very young age. You put your back heels on that 10-yard line. If it goes over your head, we'll take that ball if it dies at the 1
You
and 2.
just do that fake signal call.
Exactly.
Hopefully call some of the dogs off, and instead you're pinned up 1st and 10. Ball's on the 40-yard line. Shotgun formation all by himself, 5 wide. Trips at the bottom. Ball's on the far left hash mark for Wilkie. He's going to keep it himself, and he's got an escort out across the 6, and that looked like when he first took it he was going to have some lane, but good job on the stunt on the interior of that Harrison line, able to get the backfield.
Yeah, what you had right there was that quarterback draw they've run quite a few times tonight, but that offensive tackle has got to move out of there a couple of seconds. You kind of teach them 1,000, 1,002, but in a situation where you're inside your 5, that 1,000, 1,002 count has got to be a little bit faster.
Now, I was reading some of these numbers, and nothing against the right tackle. I say it's 290. He's a little bit more than 299, and you can only move so fast to get out of the way. I still say some of these weights are under-exaggerated, as Wookie now is 63 yards and a touchdown. 6 of 8, a very good start for the young sophomore, and it's good for a young guy to get him in rhythm.
Yeah, definitely. His confidence is building, and as that builds, he'll make better decisions. He'll grow confidence in his receivers and start to pick those kids that he feels like he can throw the ball to more, and you'll start to see more success from him.
Well, the one thing with Lewis is a sophomore, all of a sudden you get these kids are playing together, same class.
Right.
They got that feeling with each other. Not to take anything from Reddington and Smith, but some upperclassmen, you miss them for a year or two.
Right.
So him and Lewis, coming up together, that's really the future of Highlander football. And project 2 years down the road, all of a sudden, what they went up against Elder, all of a sudden in 2 years when you go back to Elder and you're seniors and you got that experience, all of a sudden not so intimidating anymore.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to take your lumps, but you got to learn somewhere, and Wookie's got a bright future ahead of him. Looks very good, and this is not something you see every day. Tight end set under center as Wookie throws it out there, and it short hops Montag. That's going to be incomplete, and not something you see every day. He didn't look too comfortable under center, and you would have thought maybe a quick dive to Lewis, but just a decoy.
Yeah, definitely. I was expecting the dive with the running back there. They in turn try a quick screen that was ineffective. The best thing that could have happened was that pass being incomplete.
Best thing that could have happened was they give the dive and they run a flea flicker. That's the best thing that could have happened. Third down, we'll call it about 8 to go. Ball's on the 6-yard line. Wilkie gets the signal in from the sideline. Now he signals those. Easier said than done. His receiver trips to the top. Dolan at the bottom. It goes over his head in the end zone. Able to pick it up. He needs to get out, and that's a safety. Unable to get out of the end zone, and Wilkie's going to go down. No, they're going to say the ball crossed. They're going to mark him down at the half-foot line. He did a good job of picking up the ball, squaring his shoulders, but you got to chuck it deep. Just throw it deep.
Well, that's one of the negatives to playing a 5-receiver set is every snap is in the shotgun. Not very good in these type of conditions. Balls are wet, ground is wet. You put him at a loss when he's already standing 7 yards in his own end zone.
Now Smith standing at his 40, but Harrison's sending the house. Max protect for Harrison as they come off the edge. Rockwood able to get his foot into it, and it's going to take a Highlander bounce to the 37. Smith has it there out across the 35. Goes backwards to the 33. Very good coverage by the Highlanders given the circumstances.
Well, the punter doing an excellent job of making sure he secured that football, was able to get the kickoff even with the pressure coming at you from Harrison, and then excellent downfield coverage covering that football outside of the 35-yard line.
Now 35, he did take 5 yards backwards, trying to make a guy miss. But now the Highlanders defense can't stiffen up again. Harrison with the short field, ball's on the 35, moving right to left, ball's on the near side, closest to us from our vantage point here at Harrison. They're going to send 2 to the bottom, single up top, Mitchell Hogue with Anderson to his left, James playing the H-back to his right. Hogue barks out the signals, takes the snap, hands it off to Anderson, tries to hop to the outside. I don't think so. Jared Francis, once again, all of a sudden he slips the house, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Francis had him for a loss. Looked like he was down, and instead he sprints by himself for a touchdown, and just like myself, is shocked. Francis put a shot on, looked like he was down, but he's able to put his hand on the ground. And 35 yards later, it's 13-6 in favor of the Wildcats.
Yeah, he was actually tackled. It appeared anyway, by three different Oak Hills defenders, and he comes out of the middle of the pile, breaks outside, and takes it 35 yards for the score.
Farfan staying out for the extra point after the 35-yard touchdown run, a one-play drive. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And our new score after a 35-yard Anderson touchdown run. It's the Wildcats 14, the Highlanders 6. As you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Always a crazy one, broke into the stadium and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line. You were always a perfect one and a valedictorian, so under your number I wrote call for a good time. I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. As moments ago, a 35-yard Alex Anderson touchdown run extends the Harrison lead. It's now the home Wildcats 14 and the visiting Highlanders 6. And it's still is almost a Barry Sanders-esque, able to get his hand on the ground, and ankle kind of rolls over, and next thing you know, he's gone in the blink of an eye.
Well, this is what Harrison fans are used to from Alex Anderson. He breaks big runs like this week after week. He's over 100 yards every week consistently, and this is the reason why.
Able to pick it up now is Hudson. Hudson brings it to the near side, and he kind of slowed up, waiting for a gap, and he didn't see the Harrison Wildcat coming around the backside. Now we have pushing and shoving, and Hudson not happy with the way Austin Silcox was sort of taunting him and celebrating over the top of him. He took an exception to it, but they just break it up and let him go, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Highlanders. Ball at the 26-yard line, and that might be just more frustration on what just happened more than anything.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. It was just a little bit of frustration. They thought they had made a good play defensively. They give up a touchdown they shouldn't have, but the offense has an opportunity to answer that right now.
A lot more breathing room this time. 1st and 10 from the 26. They bring motion in with Montag. Same play there in the first play of the game. Makes the first man miss. Out across the 30. Good 5-yard pickup there. Out to the 31. And now you have to believe you ran it twice. You're an offensive coach. You know exactly. You run stuff to set stuff up for later. Now you can see that fake sweep, fake shovel pass, chuck it deep. As they come right back to the line of scrimmage, trips to the top, two at the bottom. Quick snap, Wookie looks that way as he's got Smith, and he stood up after he caught it. He's going to be about a yard short, but to 34, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, the good thing about high school football is there's a thing called forward progress. Because of the forward progress, he'll be about a yard, maybe 2 short of the first down.
Big 3rd down coming up for the Highlanders. They move left to right, 9:07 to go and counting here in the opening half. 14-6 Harrison. They were looking to show blitz off the corner. Said they back off as they run the same 3-4 defense, but with the extra defensive back here on 3rd down, which you would think that they would go more linebackers around the line of scrimmage. Instead, Wookie takes it. He's looking to his left, comes back to his right. He's got Lewis, and he's going to be wrapped up about a yard short. You talk about that arm tackle one more time. He was an arm tackle away from having a track meet. He said it's going to be 4th down, and I'm pretty sure the Highlanders are going for it.
Well, one thing about Harrison that I've seen here in this first half, defensively at least, is that they're pretty short tacklers right there in that 3-4 defense that they run, Rob.
They tried to run that underneath rubber out. It worked. He caught the ball, just was unable to get just enough separation because another step we would have been having a track meet, and I'll take Lewis in a 100-meter sprint any day of the week and twice on Sunday. As Wookie looked, that ball's tipped, but it's still caught. What a pitch and catch. Nice grab out across the middle by Montag. Once again on the deflection. Great concentration by the junior.
Yeah, Montag playing in the slot right now up top, far away from us, and doing a great job running that slant route. Knows he's going to get hit, but wraps that ball up and gets a first down.
Wookie with ice coming through his veins right now. Looks right to left, comes back in, dumps off to Lewis, and that's one he'd like to have back. But great composure. That pocket's collapsing. Left, right, 1, 2, 3, going through his progressions, keeps his shoulder, keeps his feet moving. Very good footwork for a young sophomore, just in a second start.
Yeah, unbelievable to see this kid looking at 4 options before he looks to run the football here tonight. Doing an excellent job here in the first half.
Second and 10, they fake the screen one way, come back the other way, and Montag tried to catch it with one hand, and unfortunately it's going to be third down and long to go, but more whistles as we have some extracurricular barking going on in the backfield, but quickly separated, and it'll be third down and about 10 yards to go. But with the way Coach Dreyer likes to go for on fourth down, really you're just looking for about 5 to 6 yards here and set that fourth and manageable, especially around midfield.
Yeah, it looks like he definitely is not a coach that likes to punt the football, and so they'll be looking for about 5 or 6 yards on this play.
He must have played a lot of Madden growing up. There's not too much punting going on in Madden either. We'll have to ask him that next. That should be our question of the night. Third down, 10 to go. Not to get ahead of ourselves. Ball's on the 43, moving left to right. Pump fake. He wants to go deep. He's got Smith, and he was being arm barred at the bottom by Andrew McCord. Kind of surprised they didn't, that's kind of been an emphasis at all levels, is that arm bar, which is your right arm going up against the receiver, but they let it go. It's going to be 4th and 10.
Well, the ball still has to be catchable, and I think that it was overthrown just a tad bit right there. The officials agreeing that it was an uncatchable pass, and that's why there was no call.
He throws a beautiful football there. You saw the
that was really nice
tight spiral. 4th down, 10 to go. Highlanders going for it on the 43-yard line. Ball just left of center. Trips to the top, 2 at the bottom. And it's going to be a quick punt by Wookie, and there's nobody back deep. And it's going to take a Highlander bounce inside the 10, and it's going to be down at the 9-yard line. Excellent push punt there by Wookie. And now you give the Highlanders defense a chance. You know, backed up, Harrison's most likely going to be running the ball, and you can let those defensive tackles take all their shots that they want. They've done a good job on penetration so far.
Excellent call that time by Coach Dreyer. They've gone for every other 4th down up to this point, and so Harrison, thinking that they're going to run another play, doesn't put anybody back deep, and they're paying for that right now, starting this drive inside their own 10.
1st and 10, ball's on the 9-yard line, 7:32 to go here in the opening half. Harrison moving right to left with those green jerseys and white pants, as they have 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. James is the H-back. Anderson to the left of Mitchell Hogue, and that's who they're going to go to. Out across the right side, he's got a gap, and he's a hop to the outside. Now we got a race for Pauline. Klingenhofer giving chase out across the 50 to the 43. Anderson slowed down long enough to let Klingenhofer jump on his back as more Highlanders were in pursuit. But that's how you quickly get out of the back of your end zone with a 50-yard sprint dash to the 43.
That's a simple cross dive, and I'm really impressed with this Anderson kid up to this point, Rob. He's got a second gear. He goes from 0 to 50 in no time flat, and he gets a good run off here.
Well, last night when we were talking to Coach Dryden in the pregame, he talks how he likes to run downhill, and you can appreciate as a coach that prefers the 2 tight end and smash mouth, you enjoy a downhill runner. Mm-hmm. Defense is doing as much in the 3rd and 4th quarter, but an offensive coach loves downhill runners.
Well, what that does is going to tire out that 3-man defensive front, which will allow the quarterback to throw the ball a little bit more in the 3rd quarter. 1st
and 10, ball's on the 42 as we approach the 7-minute marker, meaning here in the opening half. Harrison up 14-6, looking to build upon that as they bring motion back, and they'll go straight dive again, and this time Klingenhofer wraps him up, but he's able to slip tackles as James. He took a 2-yard gain, turned into 9 into 10. Not bad for the little 5'10" wideout.
What we're starting to see is a little fatigue setting in right now with this Oak Hills defense. Maybe a few subs, get these guys an opportunity to get their breath, because we're missing a lot of tackles right now.
It's a muggy night too. The weather's moved out and the humidity's going. I mean, it's Cincinnati. It's September. It's pretty much. It's been a pretty mild summer and really not used to the weather we've had the last couple of weeks. And it takes the humidity when you're wearing this pads takes a lot out of you.
And it can definitely wear you down, and trying to tackle these young bowling ball running backs, that doesn't make it any easier.
They didn't train like this when we were kids. Of course, back when you were a kid, I'm not sure how much they even had a weight room yet. You're coming straight off the farm. Because they measured to see if they got it, and they got it. It'll be a 10-yard gain, and it'll be 1st and 10. Ball just inside the 32-yard line. As Harrison looks to build upon a 14-6 lead, as they also get first ball second half. So you have to believe they're able to put the ball into the end zone here to get a stop. You got to like your chance if you're a Harrison fan, especially with that getting the ball right to start the second half.
Yeah, definitely. You want to go ahead and give yourself a little comfortable room to work with here in the second half. So if they punch this in here right before the half, they'll be in good position starting the second half.
6:20 to go in counting. Mitchell Hogue stays in that pistol formation. He's standing at the 37, straight quarterback keeper. And this time, he has stood up on the interior of that Highlander defense. Matt James, the 214-pound junior, able to get there. First man on the spot. And I'll tell you right now, Matt James is a lot bigger than 214 pounds. That's a lot of man. He's biscuit shy about 250.
Well, great penetration that time by Oak Hill's front three. They were ready for that play.
We talked a little bit about last week. Kramer, the big elder, number one prospect of state, 310 pounds. He's bigger than 310 pounds. Just the grocery bill that some of these parents have on these, because I'm pretty sure they eat in their sleep. First, second down, long to go. Quick pitch out to Mitchell along the near side. That should have been a block in the back along the near side. They don't let that go. He picks up 3 yards. And that's going to set up a third down and long to go to see if the Oak Hill Highlander defense can get a stand here. Because, you know, Harrison, here's 4-down territory. You're inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to go for it on fourth down should they not get it here. But the good thing for Oak Hills right now is they have Harrison in a position that they're not comfortable with on the 3rd and long.
So this will set up a third down. I'm going to call it, I'm going to call it about 9. Ball's at the 29-yard line. Actually, I'm going to call it 7 at the 29. As he got to get to the 22. Mitchell Hogue hands it off to Anderson. Anderson cuts back, and instead he is stood up in the backfield. Great defensive play there along the far side. McGinnis once again able to use his authority and bring down Anderson, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, I just talked about Harrison being in a position that they're not comfortable in. A simple dive play to their star running back, and Oak Hills is doing a fabulous job reading the play, stretching it out, and making the play.
That's going to be 4th down, and it's go time for Harrison, but when you're at the 30-yard line, you punt the ball, you're only going to gain 11 yards. It really doesn't make sense field position-wise.
Right.
Ball is in the middle. Now we're going to have a timeout on the Oak Hill side with 4:20 to go in a 14-6 game. And your head coach, Everett Dreyer Company, what's your strategy here on 4th and 10 defensively?
Well, right now, the first thing is that you don't jump off sides. You tell your guys to be as disciplined as possible. We move when the ball moves. Then you have to find the football, make a tackle, get the ball back to your offense in pretty good field position.
One thing you have to worry about, especially when Mitchell Hogue starts to sprint out, you don't get caught with your hands in the cookie jar, and we've seen that twice already on first downs. We kind of disagree if they were hold, especially once the quarterback starts to scramble, but it's about DBs keeping their eyes on the prize.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to over-pursue. You don't want to get caught with your eyes in the backfield in a situation like this and allow Hogue to let one go down the field.
A lot of options here for Harrison with James and Anderson and Mitchell Hogue, but this is where that inexperienced quarterback comes into play, and we saw Coach Dreyer do it. They might not do it here, but the more pressure Hogue gets, he's still processing things fast, so the game hasn't slowed down for him yet in regards to the passing game. And so we'll see what the Highlanders do here. It's 4th down, ball's under 31-yard line. We'll call it 4th down and 9. The Highlander defense trying to give their offense one more shot here before the half. And they come in with the blitz, and It's going to be 4th down and about 5.
That's what I just talked about moments ago, Rob. You have to be disciplined. They did an excellent job calling a timeout. Oak Hills did. You settle your guys down, and then what happens? They jump off sides.
They were bringing the house, too, as 3 guys jump, but they were coming to introduce themselves to Mr. Hogue in the backfield, and now you bring the run play back in.
Yes.
You bring a lot more into play on a 4th down.
And about 4 now.
Call it about 4. Ball's at the 26. They got to get to the 22. As they bring in motion with James, trips to the top. Mitchell Hogue runs to his right, comes back left. He's got Anderson on the wheel route. 10-5, touchdown Harrison. He rolled to his right, faked it. The whole defense swayed that way. They came out with the running back wheel route, and it's a 20-6 ball game.
All because of an offsides penalty right there. Oak Hills have put themselves in a really good position to get the football back for their offense. They jump off sides and then get hit with a big play. Very unfortunate.
26-yard pitch and catch. As now we're an extra point away from a 21-6 game, as Varsity is back on for the extra point, trying to make it 3 for 3 tonight. The freshman puts his right foot into it. That's a lot of leg for a freshman.
Definitely.
You're going to start seeing next level coaches down here watching that young man. Our new score after a 26-yard pitch and catch. This time Anderson from Hogue. It's the home Wildcats 21, the visiting Highlanders 6 from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. You listen to Highlander football on the ESP Media Sports Network. And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth as Harrison just extended the lead moments ago on a 26-yard wheel route from Hogue to Anderson. Anderson's second score of the night as it's now 21-6 as Tylen James gets ready to kick off with Caleb Hudson, and what now is Lewis is back deep to receive by his lonesome. Caleb Hudson now retreats back. Big drive coming up here for the Highlanders. You'd like to see him get some points just before the half, especially Harrison. Gets the ball to start the second half. The senior puts his right foot into it. A short, high end-over-end kick. Lewis is going to come up and field. The ball still bounces. He picks it up around the 16-yard line. Tries to get to the corner, able to do so. Cuts it back across the 30. It doesn't matter. It's coming back. We have multiple flags back at the 25 for an illegal block in the back. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Highlanders back at the 15-yard line, as we have 4:04 and two timeouts for Oak Hills to get some points on the board. They've had chances tonight.
They definitely have had their opportunities, as the official word of holding is going to be the call back during the return there. So Oak Hills will be moved back 10 yards and start the drive from their own 15-yard line, right? But you did talk about this moments ago. They have to get some points here on this drive, because if they don't, they put themselves in a worse situation, as Harrison is going to get the football to start the second half.
Oak Hills had very good opportunities. Let's see if Wilkie looked very sharp so far tonight. Let's see if he can put some more points up on the board as they have 1st and 10, 4:04 to go, 21-6 Harrison. Highlanders moving left to right from our vantage point. Ball's on the right hash mark. Trips to the top, 2 at the bottom. Wilkie by himself as they bring in motion with Reddington as they do a quick shovel pass, trying to get it on the outside. He's got some running lane, and it's going to be close to a 1st down around the 25. David Reddington, the senior. First time he's touched the ball tonight.
That's coming back. It looks like we've got a holding call, Rob.
It's kind of surprised. It's Reddington's first touch. A guy a week ago that had 8 catches. Just the first time. A guy that can do something with space. We know about Lewis, but Reddington, the senior, but we saw it a week ago. Elder, a lot of seniors and a lot of experience. Harrison, same way. All the key players, all seniors. sometimes that experience, especially when games are going certain ways, is a huge advantage.
Oh, definitely. When you have situations like we've had this weekend, when you have a rain out and you're coming to play a game that you should have played the night before, when you have seniors, they've been through that before. They know how to prepare for that. They can help the coach get the other guys ready. When you've got a young team like this Highlander team, they're going through some rough times right now.
First down, 17 to go, but you can tell the future is extremely bright on the Highlander, especially on that offensive side with this young man at quarterback. Wilkie rolls out to his right. He's got options, and he throws for his receiver, and just underneath, he's looking for Montag again. He caught a touchdown pass earlier, but when you have a sophomore young quarterback like that and a young sophomore running back like Lewis, I mean, you've got options for the next few years, and we talked about it. Sophomores turn into juniors, juniors turn into seniors, and now it all turns into experience. But
more so than the experience is the confidence. When you're able to come up with guys and whether they're offensive linemen, running backs, or receivers, working together year after year, puts you in a better situation.
Coach Dreyer talked about it every year in, year out. He's going to have the best quarterbacks in the city of Cincinnati playing for Oak Hills, and right now he's got a young, bright one as Wilkie makes 3 guys miss, makes a 4th guy miss, then takes a couple Wildcats with him out to the 16-yard line. Nice move there by Wilkie as the pocket broke down, but he's still able to get something out of nothing. Smart decision to run the football there.
Yeah, without question, he did an excellent job right there. Looked downfield, didn't like what he saw downfield. His pocket collapsed on him, and so he took off and was able to pick up about 5 yards.
Third down, 10 to go, 3:20 to go in the opening half. Wilkie standing by himself at the 10-yard line, shotgun formation. Looks left, comes back right on a quick screen to Lewis, and there he goes. Now you're seeing that speed out across the outside to the 40, to the 45, to the 47, and that's why they want to get Lewis in space. No flags, and that's a first down. Beautiful rub route there by Lewis.
Yeah, definitely a great route ran right there. Quarterback able to get him the ball while he's running. He didn't have to wait for it. He got it, put the ball on him, allowed Lewis to get out there and use his speed for a substantial gain.
And that's why maybe the grass wasn't cut this week. Slow down Lewis's speed just a little bit. Wilkie coming right back. Look at that throw right over the middle. In and out of the hands of his first intended target, Montag. Almost caught on the deflection by Smith. But you saw the arm strength there, and you can see the confidence building as he's still tall in that pocket. Delivered a nice ball just a little bit behind him, but still a ball you'd like to see Montag come up with.
Yeah, very, very, very nice to see a young quarterback standing in the pocket, willing to take the big shot to complete the pass. Threw it behind him a little bit on that one, but again, he's learning.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball's at the 47. Wilkie looks back, steps up in the pocket from pressure, able to avoid the first sack. He can't avoid the second sack back at the 43-yard line. He's going to lose about 40 yards, and that'll set up a third down and 14 as we're at 2:48 to go. Now we have an injured player down on the field. It appears to be a Wildcat along the far side. Not to speculate, but he's rolling around upper body parts. So with that, we're going to take a quick break as you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Well, everybody else is getting out of bed. I'm usually getting in it. I'm not in it to win it. And there's 1,000 ways you can skin it. My feet have been on the floor flat like an idle singer. Remember Winger, I digress. I confess you are the best thing in my life. But I'm afraid when I hear stories about husband and wife, there's no happy endings, no Henry Lee. But you are the greatest thing about me. It's love. We're silent, it's forever. No one else could do it better. It's love. And we're two birds of a feather, and the rest is just whatever. And if I'm addicted to loving you, and you're addicted to my love too, we can be them two birds of a feather that fly together. Love, got to have something to keep us together. Love, that's enough for me. Took a loan on a house I own, can't be a queen bee without
I wanna buy you everything except cologne, 'cause it's poison. We can travel to Spain where the rain falls mainly on the plain. Sounds insane, 'cause it is. We can laugh, we can sing, have 10 kids and give them everything. Hold our cell phones up in the air and just be glad that we made it here alive. On a spinning ball in the middle of space. I love you from your toes to your face. It's love. We decide that it's forever. No one else could do it better. It's love. And we're two birds of a feather. Then the rest is just whatever. And if I'm addicted to loving you, and you're addicted to my love too, we can be them two birds of a feather that flock together.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth here from Harrison. Our score, it's Harrison 21, Oak Hill 6, alongside the coach Tony Bray, and our statistician, producer extraordinaire when they play basketball is football in Indiana, Rob Dickinson. I'm Rob Roberts. And a big third down coming up for the Highlanders, big 3rd and 14. See what the young quarterback and the coaches have here, but like the rest of the night, we're going to see some vertical. Shotgun formation, empty backfield. Wilkie look to his right. Instant pressure, steps up. He's got running room, and he's going to take advantage. He's got the first down and more. Wilkie down to the 30. There's a flag. Lewis just absolutely tackled. And there's a late hit. Now that's a cheap shot on Lewis. They better call that flag. Lewis held, but then Lewis just took a cheap shot from behind after the play. There's going to be a hold for sure on Lewis on the takedown, but they have to call the late hit. Unnecessary shot. You cannot hit somebody from behind like that when they're not ready.
Well, I'm not even sure that Lewis was actually holding, and I wish we had instant replay. They're going to call holding on Lewis, but I don't think that it was holding. It was a great block. He was slung to the ground by the defender, but they called Lewis for the hold here. An excellent block by Lewis to spring his quarterback, and then, of course, as you talked about, the cheap shot. The cheap shot right in the back.
I think the reason they're going to get Lewis, and the only reason I called it a hold, is when you're tied inside, his right hand was on the outside shoulder, and that's the only, I think that's why they called the hold. Your hands start to link to the outside. You know how officials, you're taught, grab the inside, but they did call the personal foul. You had to call that personal foul. There's no place in the game for a shot like that. I know your teammates on the ground wrestling, but you just don't hit people like that. And it's going to be a 1st and 10. Ball's on the 39-yard line. They did not call that part. They called the hold, and they brought it back. They didn't get the shot, but either way, it's a 1st down for Harrison on a beautiful pitch and catch to Smith. And now they're going to throw a flag. And here's what you're going to see when things start to get chippy. They're going to start throwing extra flags.
Yeah, we're going to get a defensive pass interference right there. He was on the back of the receiver. The receiver did an excellent job of concentrating and still bringing that in.
Use that 6'2" frame. Did Smith, number 7, but another beautifully thrown ball right in the chest, hit him right in the numbers as Wilkie is there, and actually, and that's where they're going to mark it off now. Take the free 15, but another beautifully thrown ball by this sophomore.
Well, definitely. He's very impressive here in this first half. He's made some really good decisions and thrown some really good balls.
2:15 to go. Plenty of time for this offense with just 24 yards to go, and the hurry-up nature of Coach Dreyer's offense with 2 timeouts. Wilkie's got 2 at the bottom, trips to the top, looks to his right, comes back left on a quick screen. That's pass interference. The ball was in the air. The running back got hit. 53 was a little too quick, Dylan Ward, but they're going to call it incomplete. But incidental or not, you cannot hit the receiver while the ball's in the air. Said ball gets to the target.
You're absolutely correct. Harrison did a good job of reading that play, however, and getting in there and breaking up the blockers.
Now the clock's running after an incomplete pass. Officials don't catch it. Wilkie looks across the middle. He's got a receiver out behind him. He takes a big shot. It's going to be 3rd down. But at least 25 seconds came off the clock, and the clock continues to run. They just finally stopped it. And the coaching staff is telling them the clock was continuing to run, and instead of stopping the play or let the play go, the coaches told them, and instead they're going to let it go. But they're going to need to put at least 20 more seconds back on the clock.
And the fans here, the faithful fans here from Oak Hills are letting the officials know that they blew that one.
I mean, mistakes happen, but when the coaching staff points it out, it's the job of the officials to stop the play to get it corrected. And it's going to be third down, and they're starting to get those downfield options now. Smith and company starting to get some separation on those routes, and Wookie's starting to take a shot. It's just a tad behind Montag right there, but he had the receiver. A lot more vertical options now down the field, and Coach Dreyer is going to start taking advantage of his advantage he has at wide receiver to the DBs of Harrison.
Well, Harrison is trying to play a cover 2 defense right now, Rob, and what that's doing is it's opening up the short and intermediate routes for Oak Hills, and the quarterback is just doing a fabulous job of finding those receivers that are working their way into those soft spots.
You see the potential this offense has. Multiple routes. It's hard to stay with that many receivers, to see that discipline on defense. You get the speed of a Lewis in space. You get the right arm and the smarts of a Wookie, a quarterback. They're just going to start picking you, and just mentally it drains on you as a defense. As they put 12 seconds back on the clock to 1:39, Wookie in the shotgun formation, Lewis to his right, and they're going to hand it off to Lewis as he goes straight up the gut. He breaks an arm tackle. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Highlanders. Deshaun Lewis, 21 yards to the house.
Great time to call that play, Rob. As I talked about just moments ago, Harrison was running a cover 2, so they backed their linebackers up to about 5 to 7 yards depth from the offensive line. That allowed Deshaun to get that football and make some moves, use that speed, and get away from that Harrison secondary.
He's able to break a couple arm tackles. Wookie and company's going for 2. He's going to keep it himself. Wookie's in, standing up, untouched, 2-point conversion, and just like that, the Highlanders go 85 yards. And with 90 seconds to go, our new score, it's Harrison 21 and Oak Hills 14. And we talked about it. Oak Hills had to answer. They answered the bell, and just like that, it's back to a one-possession game.
We talked about how important this drive was for Oak Hills to come out of this drive with points. They not only come out with points, but get the 2-point conversion and make this just a 7-point lead.
A 9-play drive capped off by a 21-yard touchdown run by Lewis. We talked about it. You give that man an inch, he'll take it to the house. But he showed the strength, able to, a gentleman behind him had his jersey, pulled that away, broke another arm tackle, and then dragged the last guy 3 yards plus 5 yards back into the end zone. A lot of lower body strength. Good run there by Lewis, a young sophomore, to get Oak Hills back in this football game.
An even better call by the offensive coordinator, again, noticing that those linebackers are playing 7 yards off right now. When you have an exciting player like Deshaun, you have to get him the football. And, hey, 7 yards is space. And that's when you hand him the football with 7 yards to go, he'll make some plays for you.
You give that man the ball, and he's going to do good things. A 9-play, 85-yard drive capped off by the Lewis touchdown run. As now Rockwood's going to put his right foot into this one. A booming end-over-end kick, and that's almost went on the back of the end zone by itself on the fly. And now look at Cam Neighbor and company, the senior, leading his defense onto the field, getting the troops fired up. And the high school, we've talked about this. We've been doing this together for a few years on TV side on how momentum in high school, it flips minute to minute. Right now, all that momentum's on the Highlander side, and you got to believe that defense is fired up and they're ready to get that ball right back for his offense.
Yeah, what happens is mentally, Harrison goes from being in a very comfortable situation to saying, hey, these guys aren't going anywhere, we're in for a fight.
90 seconds to go, 2 timeouts for Oak Hills, and this offense just needs 1 play to score. Now, Hogue in the shotgun, hands it off to Anderson. Anderson on the right side. He is stood up by the interior as Klingenhofer just throws him to the ground. He does pick up 5, but the clock continues to run at 1:18 to go and counting. And almost like Harrison's just going to sit on this a little bit. Not too quick to get back to the line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be comfortable going into the half with a 7-point lead. They'll try to regroup and get the ball to start the second half.
Get a stop here on second down. Oak Hills with 2 timeouts. And when you get an offense where the clock stops on first downs, It's a lot of time to go on the clock. As we're at 54 seconds to go and counting. Mitchell Hogan, that shotgun, looking to his right, throws it to his left on a quick hit to Smith, and he is stood up at the 24-yard line, and you got to be calling timeouts if you're the Oak Hills defense. You got two of them, and they're going to let that clock run, and it's going to be third and long.
Yeah, both head coaches deciding to go ahead and go into the half, regroup, and get ready for the second half of football.
Harrison does get first ball second half, but you got to love the maturity and the response by a young Oak Hills team, really on a, I wouldn't say a must drive, but it was important to move the chains a few times. Instead, they take and they march it right down the field. Huge confidence boost of this Highlander team. Is big third down for Harrison, trips to the right. Anderson to the left. Here comes the blitz. They hand it off to Harrison, or to Anderson. He slips a tackle. He's able to get a first down out to the 31. That'll stop the clock with 3 seconds to go. And they're going to let that clock run, and that'll do it. And that's the end of the first half. A first half that saw momentum swings. Harrison 21-14 at the half, but we just talked about it moments ago. Oak Hills responded on a beautiful 9-play, 85-yard drive to get back into this football game.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit of an easier speech, I think, for the head coach of Oak Hills to go in and be able to tell these kids, we can play with these guys. We made a few mistakes, and that's the difference in the first half, Rob. It was just a couple of mistakes.
Just a couple plays. We saw the one touchdown drive that was aided by a couple questionable defensive holds. But at the end of the day, they still called the penalty, so you still have to play through it. But you take away 2-3 plays, and really it's the opposite.
Right.
Really, Oak Hill is really taking that to Harrison so far tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting second half of football. If Oak Hills can find a way to stop the running game of Harrison, I think they have a chance of winning this football
Well, the
game.
defensive front, the front seven for Oak Hills has done a great job. They're penetrating. They've been living in the backfield of Harrison all night. Right now, it's just about securing the tackles and not let Anderson slip out. Anderson's showing a lot of lower body core strength.
Yeah, definitely.
And then on the other side, you look, Wilkie starting to get more confident. Started off 6 of 8, but now all of a sudden you get Deshaun Lewis in that run game, that quick screen game, and now Wilkie's going over the top. A lot more offensive plays Coach Driver can call now, and you see the potential this offense has on that last drive.
Yeah, without a doubt, Wilkie has made some really good decisions with the football. He's picked that cover 2 apart. Now Harrison's making adjustments. They're moving guys around, making them deeper in depth, and the running game is starting to get going for Oak Hills.
You have to believe that running game gets going. Their safeties start to come down.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, Smith and company, you can start going up top a little bit more, and we've seen it. Wilkie, he's got the arm. He can sling a ball down the football field.
Well, and he's got the intelligence. I've seen a lot of good things from this kid, and you've said it a number of times tonight. They have something special for the next couple of years out of Wilkie.
He's going to be a good one, folks, and we're going to have a good finish for you. So make sure you grab yourself some snacks and some cold ones, as we're 13 minutes away from the start of the second half, as you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Best mashed potatoes look, there are a lot of very good mashed potatoes. She uses top-flight potatoes and isn't scared of the butter. Well, I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying I don't know that I'd put them in the elite category of mashed potatoes. But that doesn't mean I don't like them. Tell you like it is. Oh, they're second-string mashed potatoes. It works better on the air. You can only have 5 quarterbacks in the elite club. You got to kick one of those out. For what? Winning playoff games? Listen to ESPN Radio anywhere, anytime. What is that bizarre contraption? It's my latest Jimmy John's online ordering enhancement, sir. Really? Yes, sir. You know our popular Jimmy John's online ordering service? Yes, to go to eat. This is the perfect time-saving companion. Presenting the Jimmy John's F4000 three-dimensional sandwich right there. Oh, boy. So before one of these babies in the home of every Jimmy John's customer, they order the sandwich online, and they send the sandwich to the F4000 to make their sandwich. Yeah, how much does one of these babies cost? With the corner discount, $50,000, sir. And how long does it take to prepare a sandwich? About 8 hours, sir. You see where I'm going with this? So back to the drawing board? No, stay away from the drawing board yet. You're listening to Guy Talk, live from the Sport Clips Haircuts locker room. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, boxers, your briefs.
Speaking briefly, boxers. Unless you're a boxer, then I go briefs. Next caller.
I want to find my nearest Sport Clips, but I don't want to ask for directions.
Use sportclips.com. It's actually Guy approved. At Sport Clips, you'll get an awesome MVP haircut experience while watching sports on TV. Your head will glow like a freshly mowed Major League outfield. This has been Guy Talk, brought to you by Sport Clips, where it's good to be a guy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Krimchek. Have you ever looked for a sports medicine specialist over the weekend? Well, for the last 20 years, I've welcomed the Friday night football players and the weekend warriors to visit our Saturday morning injury clinic year-round. Our care on Saturday morning is no different than you'll get during the weekday. This includes MRI and physical therapy services. Call us if you need help in the weekends. Call anytime year-round, 513-354-3700. Remember, 513-354-3700.
I'd like to thank Dick's Driving School of Western Hills for their continued sponsorship of the Oak Hills Athletic Program. Dick's has been teaching Oak Hill students to drive for over 40 years. It's the only driving school in Cincinnati that will pick you up and take you home after class. Just like the Oak Hill School District, Dick's is rated excellent by the state of Ohio. So please visit their website at dickswesthills.com or call them at 513-251-7111.
Jimmy John's freaking good.
Ed, this is Ted. Ted Crenshaw. Get a pencil because this is going to be a long order.
Why so, Ted?
Big family reunion going on here, Ed.
How big, Ted?
113 Crenshaws.
That's a lot of sandwiches, Ted.
That's a lot of Crenshaws, Ed.
So what's the problem, Ted?
Nobody has the exact same order.
You need to order by phone, Ted.
I don't.
Nope, just click order eat.
Click order eat.
Just click on the Jimmy John's app on your phone, make your sandwich orders, get a freaking first delivery, and eat.
Then I guess I'm wasting time on the phone, Ed. Goodbye.
Wait. Seems strange that none of the Crenshaws have the same order, Ted. How come?
It's simple, Ed. We're all adopted.
Oh! Wait, what?
To welcome a new sponsor to Oak Hills Athletics. It's J Tap's Bar and Grill, located at 6441 Glenway Avenue. We encourage all Highlander fans to stop by, and remember, the kitchen stays open late. You can find them on the web at jtapsbargrill.com.
Welcome to Jimmy John's. Can I take your order?
Yes, well, I've never seen your online ordering system.
Oh, this is it, sir. Just click order eat.
Aha, click eat order.
No, sir, that's click order eat.
Oh, yes, order click eat.
No, it's click order eat, sir.
Of course, eat order click. I got it.
Not quite, sir.
No?
No, sir. Say it with me. Click order eat. Click order eat. Click order eat. That's it, you got it.
Wonderful. Click order eat. I'm sure to remember it now. Come on.
Wait. As long as you're here, don't you want to order a Jimmy John's sandwich?
Well, that's hardly possible, is it?
Why not?
Well, I'm here, and my computer is at home. Well, I'll be in touch. Click order eat. Click order eat. Click order eat. Click.
Hi, I'm Eli Manning, and I have DirecTV.
And I'm bad comedian Eli Manning, and I got cable.
Only DirecTV's NFL Sunday Ticket gives you every game, every Sunday, all in stunning HD.
Cable, I get HD, as in huge disappointment.
I get every single play with the most incredible picture.
You want to see a picture of my mother now? Neither do I.
Don't be like this, man. Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Hi, this is Joanne Sweeney. Mark Sweeney Buick GMC is proud to support this broadcast by ESP Media. As winter approaches, remember to visit our award-winning service department. We service all makes and models, conveniently located just minutes from anywhere at I-71 and Ridge Avenue, or find us online at marksweeneyauto.com.
Craftsman Electric's been owned and operated by Charlie and Kay Fisher for over 30 years now. No matter what type of electric work you need, Craftsman Electric can handle it. Find out for yourself why 70% of their customers are repeat customers. 70%. Or check them out on Angie's List, where they've received the Super Service Award every year since 2007. Craftsman Electric. Dependable, affordable, honest. Call Jessica to schedule service at 513-891-4426 or visit craftsmanelectric.com. Quality craftsmanship. It's right there in the name.
What is Coca-Cola? Is it an excuse to get together? Since 1886, Coca-Cola has been passing on smiles from generation to generation. We've been giving kids scholarships, like the early birds and the all-nighters. And you get to enjoy what matters most, Coca-Cola. Drink up.
Bobby, you're here again. Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
What sides?
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where are you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Are you looking to promote your company? ESP Media can assist you with website, broadcast, and social media opportunities. We reach thousands of ears and eyes weekly on all of our different platforms. This ad could be promoting your company right now. Contact us today to get the ball rolling. You can reach us at 513-617-1414. That's 513-617-1414. Or email us at sales@esp.media.
Jimmy John's freaking good.
I thought I was calling Jimmy John's.
This is Jimmy John's, sir.
Well, I guess you'll have to do.
How can I help you, sir?
I want to order online, but my grandson says I need an app.
Well, you don't need an app, but it's very helpful.
I don't get it.
Get what, sir?
What does having an app got to do with ordering a sandwich?
It's simple, sir. With an app, you just click on and eat.
Well, I don't see how you can do all that when you're asleep.
Oh, that's true, sir. You need to be fully awake.
Gummit, how can I be awake when I'm having a nap?
I get it. You need an app.
Of course I mean an app.
So I wasn't talking about a nap, sir. I was talking about an app.
Did my grandson put you up to this?
No. Ooh, I don't know.
Mayhem is everywhere. I'm a crack forming in your water pipe. I may be too tiny to notice, but not anymore. And if you got sold the wrong home insurance, you might get swamped by cleanup costs. So get Allstate. For a free quote, call Montgomery Allstate agent Rick Nicest at 745-9898 today. That's Montgomery Allstate agent Rick Nicest. Subject to terms, conditions, availability, and coverage selected.
Becoming a small business owner. Kelly definitely needed some help along the way. Her catering business needed a street address to get started, so I set her up with a mailbox. Now anything she needs to get printed, from business cards to flyers, I'm going to be right there for her. We are readily available to be her taste testers.
From printing to packing, shipping to marketing, together, there's nothing we can't solve. Go to the UPS store today to see. You're listening to Guy Talk, live from the Sport Clips Haircuts locker room. Caller, you're on the air.
My girlfriend beat me playing one-on-one.
Sounds like you need to hit up a Sport Clips for an awesome haircut experience and some quality man time.
I don't know. My girlfriend always takes me to her salon.
Nonsense. Be your own man and get a great haircut in a guy-friendly place from stylists who know what guys need.
You may be right.
Sure, I'm right. Now grab your right chromosome, get down to Sport Clips, and ask for the MVP. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
I'm your tailgate grill. Your buddy was in such a rush to get into the game, he didn't quite get me out. I see you bought the industrial-sized bottle of yogurt fluid. Smart. And if you got co-rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get an Allstate agent. Have you better protected from mayhem? Like me. Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Become a member of Beacon Elite Sports Training today. Let Beacon help you reach your health goals in 2015 with the new Beacon Elite Sports Training Program. Group classes and or personal training are being offered in our 9,000 square foot facility in Beacon's Summit Wood campus. This athletic training program is for all ages. Boot camp, elite, varsity, and youth group classes can work with our leading Beacon trainers that you know how to help you improve your physical fitness and reach your goals. Beacon Elite is happy to answer any of your training or membership-related calls. Please contact them at 513-530-3000. That's 513-530-3000 to speak to their team. That's Beacon Elite Sports Training.
The Courtyard by Marriott in downtown Hamilton features over 7,000 square feet of banquet space for meetings and receptions. Start planning your next event by visiting the website courtyardhamiltonohio.com or give them a call 513-896-6200.
I'm your tailgate grill. Your buddy was in such a rush to get into the game, he didn't quite get me out. I see you bought the industrial-sized bottle of Yarded fluid. Smart. And if you got co-rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
What is that bizarre contraption? It's my latest Jimmy John's online ordering enhancement, sir. Really? Yes, sir. You know our popular Jimmy John's online ordering service? Yes, to go to eat. This is the perfect time-saving companion. My perfect time. Presenting the Jimmy John's F4000 three-dimensional sandwich right there. Oh, boy. So the 400 of these babies in the home of every Jimmy John's customer. They order the sandwich online. And they send the sandwich to the F4000 to make their sandwich. Yeah, how much does one of these babies cost? With the corner discount, $50,000, sir. And how long does it take to prepare a sandwich? About 8 hours, sir. You see where I'm going with this? So back to the drawing board? No, stay away from the drawing board. You're listening to Guy Talk, live from the Sport Clips Haircuts locker room. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, boxers or briefs?
Speaking briefly, boxers. Unless you're a boxer, then I go briefs. Next caller.
I want to find my nearest sport clips, but I don't want to ask for directions.
Use sportclips.com. It's actually Guy approved. At Sport Clips, you'll get an awesome MVP haircut experience while watching sports on TV. Your head will glow like a freshly mowed Major League outfield. This has been Guy Talk, brought to you by Sport Clips, where it's good to be a guy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Krimchek. Have you ever looked for a sports medicine specialist over the weekend? Well, for the last 20 years, I have welcomed the Friday night football players and the weekend warriors to visit our Saturday morning injury clinic year-round. Our care on Saturday morning is no different than you'll get during the weekday. This includes MRI and physical therapy services. Call us if you need help on the weekends. Call anytime year-round, 513-354-3700. Remember, 513-354-3700.
I'd like to thank Dick's Driving School of Western Hills for their continued sponsorship of the Oak Hills Athletic Program. Dick's has been teaching Oak Hill students to drive for over 40 years. It's the only driving school in Cincinnati that will pick you up and take you home after class. Just like the Oak Hill School District, Dick's is rated excellent.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth from Harrison. Our score at the half, it's Harrison 21, Oak Hills 14. Welcome back to the broadcast booth alongside the coach, Tony Bray, and our, I guess we'll call him producer extraordinaire tonight, Rob Dickinson. I'm Rob Roberts, and very good answer to Oak Hills there at the end of the first half to get that late touchdown, grab that momentum, and let's see how it translates into the second half as Harrison will get first ball.
Well, one thing that they'll have an advantage of defensively is the opportunity to see what Harrison wants to try to establish now. When you're down by 2 touchdowns, teams tend to do things a little bit differently. Now they're in a dogfight. They'll get an opportunity to see what the mindset is of this Harrison coaching staff.
Well, the Oak Hills defense has lived in the backfield of Harrison all night. Right now it's just about wrapping up the ball carrier, and that ball carrier, Alex Anderson, shows a lot of toughness in that backfield. Really, if you can control Anderson, you control the game.
Yeah, definitely. The one negative or dark cloud, I think, for Oak Hills in the first half was their failure to control Anderson. They control him, and they'll win this football game.
On the other side, Oak Hills, as the first half wore on, you saw a lot more holes in that defense. Wilkie making a lot of good decisions. 11 carries officially in the first half, but a lot of those, he waited for things to break down before he took off a couple long runs. But his decision-making has been pretty spot on this first half.
Yeah, he did some really good things in the first half. It enabled them to open up the running game. I think that the coaching staff of Oak Hills has to be a little bit more patient with the running game, allow it to develop, and I think that'll be the deciding factor tonight.
As people see, it doesn't matter what level you're at, high school, college, the NFL, you're only as good as your quarterback is. You're only as good as that leader, and they have a good one, and he's gaining more and more confidence, more and more comfortable in this system. them drive by drive. And I think we kind of saw that from last week to the first quarter. All of a sudden, that second quarter, the game's slowing down.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the confidence grows not just for the quarterback, for that offensive line as well, Rob. When they see their quarterback out there making plays, it makes them want to help him out a little bit.
Rockwood at the high end over end kick, and it's going to be fielded, and it's going to be a touchback. And Harrison off the hands of Smith will start off 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. And Mitchell Hogue really didn't do a lot in the air, but you can tell when he gets in the open field, those ex-wide receiver third-team All-State skills really start to kick in. And you put that duo with Anderson, it's going to open up some holes.
Yeah, definitely. Anderson, as we talked about, has been the X factor here, or was the X factor in the first half of this football game. I would like to see Oak Hills make Hogue beat them in the second half.
Well, you saw when they had to pass, Oak Hills wasn't shy about sending the house, and see how they open up here. They open up in that 3-4, but there looks like they're sending pressure off the hedge. Klingenhofer, linebacker, barking out the signals as Mitchell Hogue sends Smith in motion, and he's going to keep it himself, and he is hit in the backfield. He's not going anywhere. 6 Highlanders in the backfield, led by Finn Jonathan and company. Also 25, Kevin Werfel, also on the spot, and there's that penetration we were just talking about a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Oak Hills defensive front, 3-man front. It allows the defensive coordinator to do some extra things with those linebackers and defensive backs when you're getting that type of penetration from your front three.
Loss of about 3 on the play. That'll set up a 2nd down and 13. Actually, we'll call it 2nd and 12. They spot the ball officially at the 18-yard line. Anderson to the left of Mitchell Hogue as they send motion as they move right to left from our vantage point. And off the blitz. He's going for the deep ball. It's a jump on. It's going to be picked up. No, it's going to be caught. Wow, Tylen James off the deflection. It looked like it was going to be an interception for Drew Josworth. Instead, it turns into a Tylen James 40-yard pitch and catch. Wow, that's just shades of Brandon Stokely a few years ago, Broncos v. Bengals on the final play of the game.
Yeah, unbelievable. Looked like it was going to be an interception. The ball pops off of the defender's chest right into the hands of the wide receiver. Huge game.
1st and 10, Harrison ball's in the 42-yard line, left hash mark, and they're going to handle the jet sweep. Ben McGinnis drops him in the backfield. He's going to lose about 6 yards, and I don't think we're going to see that play again for the rest of the night.
The defensive end doing an excellent job getting up the field, Rob, reading his key right there. His key is that motion man. He's going to hit him regardless to whether he gets the football or not. He did an excellent job reading that play and a huge loss on the play.
Ben McGinnis, he's had a pretty big game here tonight. He's been in the backfield a lot. Him and Jared Francis, number 4, really making a living in that Wildcat backfield. Now it's 2nd down, 17, 10-20 to go, 3rd quarter. Hogue in the shotgun. Here comes blitz. Instead they hand it off to Anderson along the right side. Not going anywhere. A loss of 2 back to the 50. That Highlander defense, and we have a flag along the far side. McGinnis, though, first man on the spot, making a living in that backfield right now.
This is what we need to see from this Oak Hills defense right now. They did an excellent job stopping Anderson on the play, and the flag on the play looks like it's going to be against Harrison.
It's a hold, and you have the decline now. Loss of 3. It's 3rd down and 18, but that front 4 is making a living in that Harrison backfield right now, and they've caught on to the jet sweep. They caught on that quick trap.
Well, they've done an excellent job all night long against those plays. They just failed to wrap him up and bring him to the ground. On this particular drive, they're doing an excellent job of wrapping him up, making sure that he goes down.
Big 3rd down for the Highlander defense, right hash mark. Mitchell Hogue in that shotgun formation with Anderson to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his right. He wants to go deep, and he is going deep. He's got a receiver, and he's got him close to a 1st down, and he got hit forward, and that's going to be awfully close to a 1st down, and it's going to be 4th and inches, and he was about 3 or 4 yards short. Took a big hit by the linebacker, and that launched him forward, took the 1st down.
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to matter how many yards this is. Harrison is going to go for this.
4th and 1. You got to believe Anderson's getting his hands on the ball, so one has to think there's going to be a whole bunch of linebackers on a run blitz here.
Well, we've got your favorite play coming up, Rob. Looks like another measurement.
I'll keep my comments to myself tonight, but it's the one play they can't seem to get right, and it's going to set up. It looks like it's going to be 4th down and about a half yard. But you still have to believe if it's 4th and short. Anderson's getting this football.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll give it to anybody else. Maybe a quarterback draw here, but 9 chances out of 10.
They measured a football. It's a yard and a half short of a 1st down, and they
wasn't
measured
even close. Wasn't even
Not
close.
even close, but I guess if a head coach asks for it, he can get it. But usually you don't get that kind of request when you're almost 2 yards short. But it's 4th down. You got to believe Oak Hills is sending the house.
Yeah, and again, I don't think it was a second guess on whether or not Harrison would go for this 4th down. So I'm not sure what the measurement was for.
4th down, we'll call it 2. Shotgun formation, all by himself, Mitchell Hogue, and it's a false start. They tried to get him on the quick snap. Oak Hills almost bit, but the right guard decided to get there faster. Now it's going to be 4th down and almost 7.
I think it's a punting situation. No, this is a punting situation. It's going to move you back outside of the 35-yard line here. I think that you have to punt the football.
Let's see what the Harrison coaching staff does here, but that was a huge false start penalty, and usually the guy that closest to the ball, usually you don't see him jumping like that.
Yeah, I think that they were trying to draw Oak Hills offside to get that 1st down. They actually have to run a play now.
They almost had it.
Yeah.
They were coming.
Yeah.
Here we go again, 4th down. They go 4 defensive linemen now to the Highlanders. Mitchell Hogue takes the shotgun snap, looks to his left, looks to his right. He's got pressure. He steps up in the pocket. There's a flag. It's coming back. He can run all he wants because there's a holding at the 47-yard line. He can march that back 10 yards. That was as clear as day on that hold.
Yeah, and that hold was actually about 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. So this is going to put them in a 4th down and forever. There's no thinking about this when you got to punt the football now.
Yeah, it takes all the guesswork out of this, and he definitely felt the heat. Oak Hills brought the pressure, just the 4 down linemen, 3 of them into the backfield, so you're able to drop 7 in coverage, and Harrison's having their ways, and sometimes those big bodies that Oak Hills has showing some of that D1 talent, and it starts to wear on you on a hot, humid night.
Yeah, they did an excellent job on this particular drive. This Oak Hills defense did. The objective had to be to get off of the field. They achieved that goal.
It's 4th down, and we'll call it 25. As Tylen James punts it, Lewis trying to get his hands on it, and he does. Actually, that's Montag back at the 20, at the 18-yard line. Excellent coverage there by the Harrison special teams with 8:25 to go. Oak Hills was the first drive of the second half as they move left to right. Ball's, we'll call it the 19-yard line, and we got a first look at Jacob Wookie and company. But all that momentum, your defense gets a stop. It's a funny thing in high school, and it's all on the Highlander side right now.
Yes, it is, and we'll see how this Highlander offense comes out on their first drive of the second half.
Trips to the bottom, 2 to the top. Wookie looks to his right, comes back. Now he's going for the deep ball for Reddington. Oh, he's just in and out of his hands. The first DB mistimed his jump. Did Ben Heiler, the 5'11 senior, and I think Reddington just got caught off guard as it hit him in the chest. He was expecting a deflection that he didn't get.
Yeah, another perfectly thrown pass that time by Wilkie. The 2 defensive backs actually crashed into each other, Rob, and if the receiver could have brought that in, he would still be running right now.
One more point to that throw we'll get after this play, as he's going to be a straight quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards. As the best part about that throw, as he was looking dead right, like he was going to dump that ball from the flat, his eyes were that way, then all of a sudden he just chucked it onto that seam route on a beautiful throw to Reddington, not eyeballing the guy he's thrown it to. Just great quarterbacking there. Big 3rd down for the Highlanders. 3rd and 10, balls on the 18. 7:49 to go and counting. They're going to say Wookie got no gain. Looks to his left, comes back to his right. He has a whole bunch of running room. Now he's directing traffic, and as he directed traffic, he created a lane for a 1st down, and he's got it. He stretches the ball out to the 31. What great 4 or 5 yards down the field, pointing receivers. The DB follows the receivers. A lot of green, 13 yards, first down Highlanders.
Excellent presence on the football field. He knew exactly how many yards he needed to get for that first down. Just a very, very smart quarterback.
His 13th carry of the night. He's over 50 yards. Wookie looks to his left. Pump fakes. He wants to go deep, and he's doing it, trying to split the coverage. Out, he dropped it. Montag with a one-handed grab, but when he hit the ground, it popped out, trying to do his best Odell Beckham Jr. impersonation, and he almost did it.
Yeah, he almost popped up with that ball, and this stadium was ready to erupt. I looked across the field, and even the Harrison fans were amazed at that opportunity.
You see a great play. You talk about a perfect window throw there. Very impressive throw as Wookie now throws it across the middle to Jason Smith. He threw it into traffic, and that's going to be an incompletion. Great timing there by the Harrison defensive lineman, 53, Dylan Ward, able to break it up. Good timing.
Yeah, Oak Hills has done an excellent job running that middle screen. The first 2 or 3 times they ran it, they had success. Since then, Harrison has been keying on that and being able to make that play.
Well, that was the first time they didn't run Lewis. They used Jason Smith, 7 at time. Wookie looks right, comes back left. Pump fakes it, and he's going to go forward. Now the smart play. The DB had jumped the route. Would have been an easy pick 6, able to tuck it. Once again, another smart play by the quarterback.
Yeah, you actually seen him pump the ball as if he wanted to throw it. He brought it back down, decided to just take the sack here, and it looks like they're going to go for this 4th down.
4th down, 9 to go. Ball's on the 31-yard line. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Wookie's looking that way. He's got a receiver, and it's going to be tipped away as he was looking along the far sideline. And he's looking for White. Instead, it's knocked away, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Harrison's going to take over, but when your defense is playing the way they're playing, sometimes you roll the dice.
This early in the 3rd quarter on your own 30-yard line, that's a gutsy call right there by that Oak Hills coaching staff. I thought actually the defender got there a little bit early, Rob. Could have been called a pass interference. The officials thought differently.
It kind of works 2 ways. One, you're consistent with that call, but 2, it makes your defense, hey, they trust us. They're not going to move this ball on us. And the way this Highlander defense has been playing the last quarter or so, you gotta believe the shotgun formation with Anderson to the right as they send James in motion. Hogue takes a shotgun snap, hands it off to Anderson. Anderson's got some room. He's going to pick up a good 6-7 yards. Now set up a 2nd down and manageable as they're ahead of the chains.
Yeah, good job of Harrison's coaching staff changing a little bit up there. First time we've seen them with the double backfield, sending the running back in motion and coming with that same cross dive that they had success with in the first half.
You got to respect James and what he's done here tonight and in the past, and it's just another option, and they're going right back to that same backfield as Anderson is to the right. James left, splits out to the right now, and that H-back hands it off to Anderson, and Anderson's not going anywhere. Now it's a rugby scrum, and it's going to be 3rd and short. He picked up maybe a half yard as the front 4 for the Highlanders was able to get good penetration.
And Highlander defense really answering the call right now. Like you talked about moments ago, when your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator shows that type of courage and respect for you guys, you got to answer the bill, and that's what they're doing right now.
Big 3rd down here, as you have to expect this is 4-down territory for the Wildcats, so really keeps the whole playbook wide open, as they like to say. 3rd down, we'll call it 2. Ball's on the 24. Mitchell Hogue, shotgun formation, rolls to his right. Pump fakes, comes back to his left, wants to realize that's a hold on the edge, and instead Mitchell goes down. He's going to lose a couple yards. Back to the 25. Good rush off the edge. Kevin Wolfel went to make the play, was getting help, but they kind of let that go, and it's going to be 4th down, loss of 2. But once again, as soon as Hogue gets that ball to look down the field, he's got 3 Highlanders looking him in the face.
The secondary of Oak Hill is doing an awesome job staying on their man, keeping their eyes on their particular man, not allowing him to get away and hold throwing that deep ball.
4th down. The Highlanders trying to get the ball back to Wookie in the offense. 21-14 Harrison. The Highlander faithful making noise. Mitchell Hogue rolls to his right. Wants to come back left. Instead, he's going down back at the 37-yard line. Klingelhofer led the charge. Mitchell Marshall Hogan slow to get up as the Highlanders throw him for a loss of 13 yards. And they're going to take over on downs at the 37.
Unbelievable to see these two coaches battle it out and go for fourth down after fourth down, not even considering punting the football here.
You're on the 25. It's 4th and 4.
Well, I think that sometimes you have to be a little bit smart. You're only playing with a 7-point lead with plenty of time left in the third quarter at 4 minutes and 37 seconds. You may want to try to put O'Keel's offense back in the hole.
Well, this offense moved the ball really well. Let's see if they can cap off another one. They give it to Lewis. Actually, no, he took it out of his belly and kept it. He hops to the outside, makes a man miss, makes another man miss before he's able to finally be taken down at the 42. He picked up 6 yards, but he ran for about 30.
A simple read option right there by the quarterback Wilkie. He pulls it out of the chest there. Last second goes around the end and is able to pick up about 5 yards.
Well, yeah, look at it from the Harrison point of view. I mean, Lewis gets his hands on it. That's who you got to go with. Beautiful blitz pick up there by Lewis. He throws it down to Montag. This time he holds on to it at the 50. Great blitz pick up there by the young sophomore tailback. They say that's the hardest thing for a running back to do is to learn how to pick up the blitz. Beautiful there. First down.
Yeah, excellent job right there on the wheel route. Great blocking up front. Gave Wilkie the opportunity to find an open receiver and another good ball to get that first down.
Eyes always looking down the field. That's what you love to see. Here comes the young sophomore. This time he's going to hand it off to Lewis, and Lewis is going to be thrown down. And you talk about a guy that's had a big football game tonight. 44, Austin Silcox, able to wrap him up for no gain, but he's had a pretty good night himself, the defensive end.
It's really been a pleasure to watch both teams running a three-man front, having the type of success in penetration.
Wilkie this time is going to go to the air. He wants to go deep. He's got a receiver. He's got Reddington down to the 32-yard line. Beautiful pitch and catch. And now you're starting to see the Wildcats hands on the hips, hands on the knees. That up-tempo. It's in the rhythm Wilkie's getting himself into. Very impressive so far.
We talked about that earlier in the game, but it was the reverse. It was the Oak Hills defensive line with their hands on their knees getting tired, and now Harrison has to take a timeout.
Why you see one team walking with their hands on the knees and walking slowly off the field. You got a Highlanders team that's pumped all kinds of pumped up coming off the field. But time to get those emotions back in check. But Wilkie's done a nice job. We've talked a lot about him tonight, but he's really letting the game come to him right now. That was a beautiful pitch and catch to Reddington, the senior tailback.
Yeah, the game has really slowed down a lot for Wilkie, and I've seen him mature just since the first quarter of his football game, Rob. We've seen him really anxious early on. He's settled down. The throws are coming to him. The receivers are doing an excellent job of getting into their routes and making those throws a lot easier for him.
Well, I think right now you're getting a lot of the offense is feeding off the defense. The defense is feeding off the offense, and it's real contagious right now. They're in the middle of as Wilkie is 13 of 27 for $139. And I'm surprised his percentage is below 50%. He's been on target most of the night.
I'm surprised to see that he's only thrown for 137 yards, but the passes that he's thrown have just been really good footballs, immediate route throws where he can build his confidence.
Fresh out of the timeout, ball's at the 34. Double stacks at the top to the bottom. Lewis standing with Wilkie in the backfield. That's who he's going to give it to. He's got to see him up the middle. And just a shoestring tackle, and I mean shoestring tackle from taking that one to the house as Gerald Smith, 22, unlaced his shoe at the 26-yard line. Second down, 3 to go, and Lewis is starting to break him longer and longer as he gets the ball again. Gets inside the 25, and it's going to be third and about a half a football, but those inches, those creases are coming wider and wider. You get somebody with the burst of Lewis, doesn't take much, gone.
Well, what you're seeing right now, Rob, is that Harrison has gone to a 3-3 defense. They've dropped another safety back because of the success that the quarterback has had, that Wilkie has had throwing the football.
Shotgun formation, no one behind him. Wilkie's got a receiver, and he has a flag.
No flag call.
Wow. He was looking for Lewis as he was tripped up by Drew Banks. He really just stuck his arm out there to slow him down, and Usually when that happens in the center of the football field, we see a flag, but not this time, and it's going to be 4th down and 1 to go, and you have to believe Lewis is getting the ball on a belly dive, but it's going to be some kind of an option here.
Well, expect the quarterback maybe to keep it, rookie to keep it here, because they're expecting Lewis to get the ball here.
And Lewis does, and Lewis, it's going to be close. It's going to be all about the spot. And he didn't get it. He's going to be short, and Harrison's going to take over. Maybe you want to see that play on 3rd down and maybe the play action on 4th, but either way, Oak Hill's been impressive on that drive, just unable to capitalize, and now that defense needs to come back out and do what they've been doing good, and that's living in that Harrison backfield.
Well, I think that it was a couple of really good plays right there by Oak Hills. A failed pass interference call, I think, is the extent of this drive ending. There was definitely contact in the middle of the field, and like you talked about, normally that's flagged automatically. They missed the call. Harrison gets the ball back.
Now Harrison coming out 4 wide, trips to the top as we're at 2:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Anderson to the left, that's who they're going to give it to, and he has a big hole at the middle and a beautiful open field tackle by Caleb Hudson. Otherwise, Anderson still might be running.
Yeah, definitely. Anderson is really good at making that first defender miss, or at least breaking that tackle and getting into the 2nd level. That time, a really short tackle keeps him with a 9-yard gain.
Anderson's an interesting prospect from the point of what he could possibly do at the next level, and what kind of they're looking at. If they maybe switch him over to defense, because he has all the skills. He tried to run the wheel route. Instead, Klinglenhofer and company drop Mitchell Hogue for a loss of 13 back to the 22. Klinglenhofer along there backside with Jared Francis able to bring him down as the Highlanders once again to drag Mitchell Hogue to the turf.
Well, that was an excellent job that time by the outside linebacker of Oak Hills. They wanted to run a swing route out there to Lewis and couldn't get him the football, or Anderson, excuse me. Anderson was covered up by that outside linebacker. Hogue had no second option.
Mitchell Hogue, he's going to sleep very well tonight as the senior steps back on his 19-yard line waiting for the snap. He gets it, and here comes the Highlanders. There's a throw along the outside, and he just hung his receiver out to dry, but a beautiful catch, and he's going to be close to a 1st down. He might be a yard short, and they're going to measure again. But he should be about a half-yard short. Well, maybe not. Depends which judge gets to spot this football.
It looks like he's about a yard short.
No, they're going to give it to him.
Unbelievable.
And that's a 1st down and 10. Ball's at the 35. They had to get to the 36. But they move the chains as Harrison gets the call from the sideline. Under 48 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter as the Highlander defense trying to give their offense one more chance to tie this football game up. Trips stacked to the bottom, single up top. Anderson to the right of Mitchell Hogue. Hogue looks to his right, comes back, steps up in the pocket. Now he wants to run. Klinglenhofer gives chase along with the defensive back and finally pushed out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 44. Does Mitchell Hogue. Kevin Warfel pushes him out of bounds. He picks up about 25, and with 27 seconds to go, it's a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Hogue showing that wide receiver talent right there in the open field. Saw Green. His pocket broke down on him, so he saw Green. He got up in there and got a really good run off.
1st and 10, ball's at the 44-yard line, 27 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, still 21-14 in favor of the home Wildcats. As Oak Hills this time brings 4 down linemen as they go to a 43 defense. Mitchell Hogue sends James in motion from left to right. They hand it off to Anderson. Anderson's thrown down for a loss. Actually, somehow he snuck back to the line of scrimmage and might have gained a yard as he was hit 2 yards deep in the backfield, which might be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it looks like he was hit in the backfield, was able to use that 3rd leg and picked up a yard when it should have been a loss of 2.
And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. Our score remains at the end of 3 as Harrison 21, Oak Hills 14, as you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
It is not easy becoming a small business owner. Carly definitely needed some help along the way. Her catering business needed a street address to get started.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth as we're getting ready to get underway here in the fourth quarter as Harrison now will move left to right. Second down, 9 to go. Ball's at the 43-yard line. Mitchell Hogue with 2 at the top, 2 to the near side. Ball just inside right hash mark with Anderson to his right. The Highlanders in the 34 defense showing blitz, and here they come. The quick throw on the outside. Good pitch and catches. Francis closed on him, but not before Jacob Back was able to pick up about 3 yards to the 40 and third down and 5 to go.
Well, excellent job that time by the Oak Hills defensive back. Sure tackler. The receiver made the catch but didn't pick up any yards after the catch.
Big third down coming up for the Highlander defense. 11:35 to go and counting here in the fourth quarter. Ball is on the 40-yard line on the right hash mark. Mitchell Hogue gets the signal from the sideline, looks down to his wrist to get the plays. They send Smith to the top, so you have 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. H-back set is James. They send him to the left. Anderson's to the left of Mitchell Hogue. He takes a snap, fakes it. He rolls to his left, throws across his body, dumps it out in the flat, and he's got James inside the 20, down inside the 30, to the 26. A beautiful pitch and catch. Able to pick up a first down. Nice little float pass right over the linebacker's hands.
Yeah, definitely a great opportunity, a great time to call that play. They fake to Anderson. The defense bites on Anderson, and we've got a nice toss going on, pitch and catch going on with the quarterback and receiver.
Fresh set of downs at the 26. First and 10, Harrison. Mitchell Hogue, now he has Anderson to his left. James stays in that H-back. They're going to keep him there. Shows blitz. Does Oak Hills, and this time Anderson. Ball's loose, and it's picked up by the Highlanders. It's a foot race for the pylon inside the 40 to the 30-yard line, and that's what the Highlanders needed. Francis straight stripped Anderson back at the 40, and the big D lineman, the Hog Molly, rumbled and tumbled his way down to the 30, and the Highlanders are in business. First and 10, Oak Hills.
Excellent job by the Oak Hills defense. They were shooting gaps at the snap of the football. 3 Highlanders hit the ball carrier as he was getting it. Ball comes out. Their heads are up. They get the ball off the ground, scoop and go.
And you might want to get an oxygen mask for that big fella as he rumbled and stumbled his way 50 yards down the field to the 30. And here comes Wookie and company. 10:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Oak Hills trying to tie in or take the lead. Wookie looks to his right. He's got a receiver out in the flat. Is Lewis. Lewis is spun down at about the 39. He'll pick up a yard. Good open field tackle there by Harrison. Otherwise, that could have been a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. Great job of being a sure tackler right there, not allowing the speed to get out there and hurt him.
Wookie brings his troops right back to the line. Ball's at the 29-yard line. Second down, 9 to go. Look at his left. He got a man down the middle, and he's got Lewis down to the 5-yard line. You talk about a pinpoint throw by the young sophomore quarterback. That was a straight BB to Lewis inside the 5. You said you want to see Lewis on the seam. You got it.
Lewis doing an excellent job of getting separation and really made that toss easier for the quarterback.
Beautiful pitch and catch, puts the ball to 9, first and goal to go. They hand it off to Lewis, and Lewis is thrown for a loss, and now there's some words, and they just need to walk away, and that's what he does, and it's going to be second and goal from about the 12, but wow, what a throw.
This has been an awesome football game. We've seen a young quarterback developing right before our eyes tonight, Rob.
And when you got that kind of arm, it really opens up your playbook. You can do a lot. And now he looks to his left, comes back to his right, rolls back to his left. Now he's scrambling. He's got some running room. Does the sophomore. He puts out his shoulder. He stretches for the pylon, and he's going to be about 2.5 yards short, and it's going to be third down. It doesn't matter. It's 4 downs from here on out, even with the reliable Rockwood back there, 98. But this is 4-down territory this close. You're down a score.
We've seen Oak Hills go for 4th downs when it was 10 yards to go. There's no way that we're going to see a field goal attempt here.
They're going to put the ball back to 4. It's third down and goal to go. Wookie looks to his right. Good blitz pick up there by Lewis. He's got a receiver in the back of the end zone. He's got him. White in the back of the end zone. zone. Touchdown! Highlanders! Actually, Jason Smith. And they're an extra point away from tying this game up as they send the kicking unit out there. But that's how you convert a turnover. You put that ball into the end zone. Beautiful job by the Highlanders.
Let me tell you something, Rob. He just threw a corner route, which is one of the most difficult routes for even college quarterbacks to throw accurately. He just threw that pass, the best that I've seen it thrown at the high school level, and he's a sophomore.
Beautiful pitch and catch, and now we're just an extra point away from taking the lead. The snap, the hold, the kick by Rockwood, and it's good. Our new score after a 4-yard pitch and catch from Wilkie to Smith after the turnover. It's the Highlanders 21, the Wildcats 21 from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. You're listening to Highlander football on the ESP Media Sports Network. All right. And we're going to keep it here as the Highlander faithful rise to their feet, but you get a turnover in the plus zone, you're on the 30, you got to push it in, and that's exactly what they did. Their defense in the second half has stepped it up. The offense has moved the ball almost at will, even though that's the first time they've scored. All the momentum's is on their side as they look to finish off this 10-game series at 7-3.
Well, I tell you what, an excellent job of play calling by the offensive coordinator. I think they ran the ball one time that entire drive. They've done what's been hot for them, and that's throw the football.
Well, they've also done what they need to do and get the ball in Lewis's hands. But you kind of see the last drive, even though they didn't score before this one, they ran the ball. Now, all of a sudden, you got those linebackers have to stay honest with Lewis, and it's really opened up that passing game.
Well, they haven't had a lot of success with Lewis running the ball. They've had a couple of plays successful, but the young quarterback has just been magnificent. Wilkie is making great decisions with the football, whether he's throwing it or running it.
Another deep, high kick is Smith. And you're going to let him come out. He caught it just short of the goal line. He has some running lane, and he's got a huge running lane now. And Smith, they're trying to hold on for dear life out across the 45 to the 50. The kicker trips him up at the 47-yard line. He might have saved a touchdown. And that's excellent starting field position, and that's kind of momentum that Harrison needed. The hands have been on the hips, hands have been on the knees, a little winded. Then all of a sudden you break one, and all of a sudden you start to catch that second breath, but if you're the Highlanders, you got to squash that here early.
Yeah, they definitely need to go ahead, make a couple of defensive stops, and make Harrison's defense, who's already tired, Rob, get them back on the field as soon as possible.
You got to believe they're going to keep that pressure dialed up here at the Highlanders as they've been bringing it the whole second half. And you have to believe we're going to see more of that, more blitzes being dialed up as they go right back, 3 down linemen. Mitchell Hogue stays in that shotgun formation, showing blitz of the Highlanders. Now they back off. They bring James in motion from left to right, shift him back out to the left. Quick pitch over to Anderson, trying to give him the corner. Klingenhofer and Cam Neighbor, Caleb Hudson out there. Hudson able to keep that to no gain, maybe a half yard, and good job to be able to contain Anderson the way they did.
Well, Anderson did a great job. I think the corner on the play did an excellent job of fighting off the lead blocker right there, getting his hands up, getting rid of that blocker, and making that tackle.
Beautiful tackle there. Caleb Hudson, I said Cam Neighbor. Unfortunately, he's out tonight as he got twisted up a little bit a week ago. As the other senior now stepping up and showing his role is Hogue rolls to his right. He's got pressure. Here comes Klingenhofer, and there's nobody home. And now there's James there in the area. 34 is there. They want the intentional grounding, but the ball was only about 2 yards in front of him as Klingenhofer and company, they were coming again.
Yeah, and the best way to break up a screen, because that was actually what Harrison was trying to get off that time, was a screen. But the best way to break that up is for your defensive guys to get up the field as fast as they possibly can with their hands in the air.
Big 3rd down, 9 to go. Ball's on the 46-yard line. The Highlander faithful start to make more noise. 8:13 to go. Can the Highlanders give their offense more one more chance with excellent field position. Hogue stands at the 49, his own 49 in the shotgun. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. He looks straight down. Here comes the pressure up the gun, and he's going to be dropped at the 43. Klingling-Hoffer and company once again. Ben McGinnis back there. It was a jailbreak back at the 43, and the Wildcats are going to have to punt unofficially the 5th sack of the night by the Highlanders.
Yeah, it appears that Oak Hills has made the decision that they're going to go risk versus reward here. They're coming every single play, and the quarterback has no time, right?
Really, they're only sending, there's the 3, they're they're sending 1 to 2 people. They're dropping, they're just getting great penetration. When your D-line comes through, and with 1 outside backer, it makes your defensive backfield's job a lot easier as this ball goes off the right side, but it takes a bounce inside the 15, and once again, that Highlander defense steps up when it has to. Excellent starting field position. Ball was on the right side of the 47 for Harrison. They lost 15 yards of offense due to that sack. Great defensive stand by the Highlanders.
Well, we've talked about momentum a couple of times tonight, and right now Oak Hills is riding the crest of the Big Mo. Defense is feeding off of their offense. That offense ties the football game. Defense does what they're supposed to do and gets them the ball back.
You've seen the way the defense has been slowing down a little bit. You give Lewis that inch, he will take this ball to the house. Empty backfield for Wookie, standing at the 15-yard line. He's coming back. He's got a receiver. He's got White across the 25 to the 27. A beautiful slant route. Hit him in stride, as you've been talking about. His accuracy, especially in the second half, pinpoint.
That right now, Harrison has changed things up. They've come out of the cover 2, and they're playing a straight cover 1. Slant is still open.
Wookie looks to his right. He's got a receiver out in the flat. It's Reddington. He's going to pick up about a yard. Could have been a little bit more, but good open field tackle to wrestle him to the ground, especially when you're tackling somebody that high up.
Yeah, he did an excellent job of bringing him down, making sure that he kept that catch and run to a minimum.
Second down. Actually, they're going to say he got 2, maybe 2.5. Second down, we'll call it 7. Lewis to the left, trips to the bottom. Ball's on the far right hash mark as Oak Hills moves right to left. As Wokey rolls to his left, he's got a receiver. That's Montag. He had to come back for the ball, otherwise he would have had a first down. And it's going to be 3rd and about 2 at the 35. But once again, a beautiful throw, especially rolling to his opposite arm, throw it across his body.
Yeah, and it was an out route nonetheless. He just completed an out route, throwing it across his body as he rolled to the play side.
You have to believe there's going to be some people at the next level that want to take a closer look at this kid as he unloads another one, this time out of the reach of Reddington. But you have to like the potential here on this kid's arm moving forward.
Well, what I'm interested to see right now, Rob, is do Oak Hills kick the football now, or do you go for it?
You go for it. The way your defense is playing right now, Harrison can't move the ball. You put Lewis in space on a little rubber out. Trips to the top, 2 at the bottom, 4th down, we'll call it 2. Wookie looks to his right, comes back to his left. He's got a receiver down the middle of the field. Out across the 45 is Reddington, and Reddington to the 35-yard line. Give that man a 30-yard pitch and catch. They can't cover the play. The linebackers cannot keep up with these Oak Hills wideouts, and the middle of that field is wide open.
Well, what's going on right here again is that they're playing a man defense, and it looks like Oak Hills receivers are just too fast. The safeties that they're rolling over to play on the slot guys just aren't fast enough to cover these slot receivers.
Well, it's a hot human night because the end of the night, you know, that speed, and we talked about the footing and everything else, but Oak Hills is taking advantage, and if you give a quarterback that's in the zone like he is right now, Wookie, you give him that kind of window and that kind of space in between receiver and said defensive back, he's going to pick you apart, and he's picking them apart right now with 6:02 to go.
Yeah, and I've talked a couple of times tonight about the fatigue factor as you see Harrison using yet another timeout just to try to get their defensive guys a chance to breathe a little bit. Looks like we may actually have an injury on the sideline right there, Rob.
It's a Harrison player down, and when we come back, we'll take a quick break. Oak Hills will have the ball 1st and 10 on the 36. As you're listening to Highlander football from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Down at the New Amsterdam
Welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth here from Harrison. As fresh out of the timeout, Oak Hills will look to take their first lead of the night. 1st and 10 to 36 as this well-oiled machine, Coach Bray, is moving along here, humming real nicely in the second half.
Yeah, it's been exciting to watch this offense actually operate with 5 receivers not even looking to run the football right now. You're allowing your sophomore quarterback, Wilkie, to make good decisions. We've talked about his cannon of an arm all night long, but the decision-making process, watching him work 1, 2, 3 to 4, maybe back even to 1, it has just been phenomenal.
Wilkie stands by himself at the 41, looks to his right, steps up in the pocket. He's got a receiver, and that's the first time he's been hit all night as he's dropped by who else but big old 44. Austin Silcox throws him down, and that's really the first time he's been hit on his own as he reached over and might have tweaked his leg a little bit as he stretches himself out with the 42.
Yeah, it looks like he may have fallen the wrong way. Looks like he's trying to catch his breath a little bit.
Play clock gets whistled, and we're at 5:58 to go. 21-21, 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 36-yard line. Moving right to left hash mark. Wookie looks right back. Quick throw out to Lewis. Lewis cuts back inside, makes the first man miss. He hops to the outside. It's the first down and more. Now it's a foot race for the pylon. He's down to the 10-yard line and moved the chains once again. A 26-yard pitch and catch. That right leg looked all right there as did that right arm.
A simple hitch route to the inside receiver on that play. You get the ball to Lewis. He breaks the first tackle and gets down the field all the way to the 10-yard line.
A sideline warning now against Harrison as they put the ball at around the 12-yard line, it looks like, as Lewis checks out of the lineup as they run in number 6. Donnie Lippenmeyer. Say that one 4 times really fast. Trips to the bottom, 2 to the top for Wookie in the offense. 5:49 to go, 21-21. Shotgun formation, looks to his left. He's got White. White lowers his shoulder, stretches the ball out to about the 7. That's how you finish a pitch and catch. And it'll be 2nd down and about 5.
Same play, just to the opposite side to a different receiver. Not the same type of success, but you put the ball down in a position where you've got a 2nd down and maybe 4.
That didn't take long. Lewis right back into the Highlander offense. 2nd down to go. Ball's at the 6. Wookie sews it up. He's got Lewis. Lewis cuts it back. He stretches for the pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Highlanders. A 6-yard pitch and catch. Wookie, his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. This time to Lewis.
First time tonight that Oak Hills has had the lead, and so we'll see if their defense knows how to play with the lead right now, Rob. They've had to play catch-up the entire night, have done an excellent job of doing so. So now can the defense hold and get this big win for them?
Sorry, his 2nd touchdown of the night as Lewis scored on a 21-yard score earlier. Now Rockwood puts it up on our new score after a 6-yard pitch and catch and another 80-plus yard drive. It's the Highlanders 28, Harrison 21. From the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth, you're listening to Highlander football on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Jimmy John's freaky fresh, freaky good. I thought I was calling. You're listening to Guy Talk live from the Sport Clips Haircuts locker room. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, boxers or briefs?
Speaking briefly, boxers. Unless you're a boxer, then I go briefs. Next caller.
I want to find my nearest Sport Clips, but I don't want to ask for directions.
Use sportclips.com. It's actually Guy approves. At Sport Clips, you'll get an awesome MVP haircut experience while watching sports on TV. Your head will glow like a freshly mowed Major League outfield. This has been Guy Talk, brought to you by Sport Clips, where it's good to be a guy.
I don't know why they haven't gone to a class.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. Our new score after a 6-yard pitch and catch, this time Wookie to Lewis. It's the Highlanders with the first lead of the season and of the night. It's 28-21 Highlanders, and we talked at the half, or we talked between ourselves at the half. We felt, Oak Hills really dominated that first half. the scoreboard didn't reflect it.
Right.
Well, they've dominated the second half, and now it's reflected on the scoreboard. 14 points here in the third quarter.
Well, they've done exactly what I said they would need to do in order to win this football game, and that's take Anderson out, make Hogue beat you, and that's what they've done here in the second half. Anderson has not been a big factor here in the second half after having a huge first half, Rob.
Rockwood puts his right foot in this one. Low line drive kick, trying to keep it away from Smith. That's a live football at the 5. Smith slips as he picks it up. Out across the 15. He's going to get to the 20, but he stood up, and the Highlanders, a fired up Highlanders football sideline as Kevin Werfel wraps him up. And now the Highlanders, look at Klingenhofer trying to get the faithful to their feet. They know they're a defensive stop away from the first win of the season. We talked about it off the air, but if you want to get in the playoffs, you got to win tonight.
Yeah, you got to win a game like this. There's a lot of emotions brewing, and you can tell the difference between where the mojo is on both sides of the sideline. You got Okios, they're excited. Everybody is pumped up. You look on the far side at Harrison, and those guys look concerned right now.
First and 10, ball on the 21-yard line. Still a lot of time to go. 5:10 to go. The Highlander faithful, cowbells and all ringing. There's a false start as Mitchell Hogue takes the snap, and that just gets the Highlander faithful fired up even more, and it's going to be first down and 15, but we talked about it at the top. 11 penalties that we could go for Harrison, and we've seen them more and more. They're up around 10 again this week.
Yeah, and they've been big penalties, just like this one here, an offsides penalty. You've lost your lead. You've got first and 10 at the 20. You jump offsides. Now you're working behind the clock again, first and 15 now.
And now that chirping between that D-line and O-line, and now you got the O-line thinking, Klingenhofer and company, they look to be showing blitz. Hogue on from right hash mark with Anderson to his left. Here they come off the edge with the blitz. They try to hit back on the bottom. He does. He catches it, and then he pays for it. As soon as he catches it, he goes down, wrapped up by Drew Josworth, the 161-pound junior defensive back.
Josworth doing an excellent job allowing the receiver the space to catch the ball, but then drills him in the back, keeps the gain to about 2 yards.
Taza DB, that closing speed.
That's
closed
right.
it, but he wrapped up and dropped him immediately. Second down, 13 to go. Ball's on the 18-yard line. Harrison, 4:37 to go. Moving left to right off the right hash mark. Here comes the blitz from the Highlanders. Mitchell Hogue throws to his left. He's got a receiver. Smith cuts it back in. Now he's got some running lane. Out across the 35 to 40. It's a foot race for the pylon. Can they catch him? No, they can't. And now they're an extra point away from tying this game up. Smith broke a couple tackles and goes 82 yards to the house. Really the first big play of the second half for Harrison, and it's a big play.
Yeah, definitely, and if we could show a replay on this, that kid looked like the Jerry Rice of old. In the slot, catches a 5-yard slant route, turns it into a 65-yard touchdown scamper. That was unbelievable.
Smith had a 21-yard jet sweep run earlier that gave him the early 7-0 lead. This time 82 yards. Hogue to Smith, and he broke about 4 tackles in that secondary, and then it was a foot race, and the only person catching him is Lewis, and Lewis is on the offense, and that offense is on the sideline. As the extra point, and it's going to block, but he's got a chance to score too. He reaches, he got it, he got it. Unbotched extra point, the place kicker stands up and is able to run it in. Wow, that's not something you see every day.
It's something that should never happen, Rob. You've got a botched a PAT attempt. The holder gets the ball, picks it up, runs to his right side, and there's no defensive end, no outside linebacker there to keep him from getting into the end zone.
With 4:18 to go, a couple timeouts. This Oak Hills, let's see how they respond. They've been picking this defense apart the whole second half, and now that Harrison defense, they've only feel about a minute.
I don't think that the mojo has been lost at this point. I just think that it's a situation where Oak Hills has to take a deep breath, do what they've done in the second half.
I mean, if you're looking from Harrison, your defense have only had about a 60-second break.
Exactly.
Right back on the field. You're already huffing and puffing before, and you got to believe Coach Dreyer and company, foot's going to stay on that gas pedal.
Exactly, and that's the way that it should be. That's the worst thing that could have happened for the Harrison defense. They haven't had a chance to catch their breath yet.
It's be interesting to see as why the Harrison kick team is not on the field yet, is the officials had to go over there and literally grab them. It's response time now, 4:18 to go. Your offense has been firing on all cylinders here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can respond one more time as the Harrison faithful, which is what is left of the Harrison faithful, as some of them started to leave early, is back into the game now, as they like to say.
This has been a terrific football game, Rob. This was worth the 27-hour wait.
Well, a lot of predictions said this would be a score one down to the end, and that's what it is. I think Tri-State football predicted 30-27 game. Oh, they're not too far off as Lewis out across the 25, cuts it up to the 30-yard line, stumbles forward to the 32, and once again, you talk about a guy that just can't catch a break. Literally had his foot tripped up by somebody, shot the momentum, reached across the 32 as Wookie and company come right back out.
Well, what's funny about Lewis is the fact that he's only about 5'8". So to see these guys getting down and making shoestring tackles on him is kind of strange.
He's got to learn to do the high hurdles.
Exactly.
He's got to start learning how to do some Le'Veon Bell and just going straight vertical as Wookie comes out, trips to the top. That's where Lewis is at in the slot. Duels to the bottom with White on the bottom. He looks to his right. He steps up in the pocket, and he is going to go down at the 26. Only the second time they've gotten to him tonight. This time he couldn't pull the trigger.
Man, that was just a matter of good coverage down the field. I watched Wilkie that time, looking at all of his options. Again, just making a great decision not to force a ball down the field. Takes the 2-yard loss.
3:49 to go. They send Lewis to the top in the slot. Trips top, duels at the bottom. Wookie looks to his right. He wants to go that way. He's got a receiver at Smith or Montag, but almost fortunate he dropped that. It only would have been a 2-yard gain. That clock would have been running.
Right, exactly.
Big third down coming up. You got to get at least 6 here to keep it fourth down and manageable. Wookie looks to his right, steps up. He's got to receive. That ball was tipped. Very fortunate that ball was tipped because Reddington had a lot of green in front of him, and he was about to take one to the house as they keep the offense on the field on fourth down. We'll call it about 12, call it 13, back at the 28. Big fourth down, trips to the top, duels at the bottom. Wookie barks out the signals. Harrison appears to only be rushing 2 as Simon now walks to the line. They get the final signal from the sideline. Wookie takes the snap, looks to his left, comes back to his right. He's got to go deep. He's got a receiver. He's going for a first down to the 43. That's a first down. They're going to spot that ball short.
He got it. He got it. Just
did
barely.
Not get it.
Just barely. He's going to get that first down.
What a bad spot. They gave it to him, but that was a yard short of where he caught that football.
Yeah.
He caught that football at the 43.
Yeah.
They mark it back at the 42, but he still gets a first down.
That was a terrible, terrible spot. Excellent job by Wilkie again, looking at his receiver, getting it to him right where he needed to get for the first down.
Wookie takes a shotgun snap, looks to his right. He's got Smith. Smith tries to hop to the sideline, and he's not going to get anything. He might have lost a yard. Keeps that clock running, 3:12 to go and counting.
Wilkie has to have his head into the game. He's got to realize that clock is running. They can't take the normal time. It looks like someone's going to take a timeout here.
Harrison, a player along the far sideline, took his helmet off. He goes to one knee on the 40. As the Oak Hills players, there's 2 players down for Harrison, and they're just cramped. They're dehydrated.
Yeah. This early in the season, you're going to get the high humidity out there on the field. You've got grass that hasn't been cut as well, so you're going to have some cramping going on out there.
Well, the whole thing with the humidity, it's been pretty bad the last couple weeks, but this summer, it really hasn't been a typical Cincinnati Human summer, so you're not used to that. You can drink all the fluids that you want. I mean, eventually, cramping just takes over. Everybody's body is different, especially when your two-a-days have been like spring weather. Now we're in summer weather.
Right, exactly. This last couple of weeks, I think we've hit the 90s quite a bit, and it's been what we're used to back in June.
Well, before the storm hit tonight, when I pulled in 93 on the good old dashboard, Cam, is Now Oak Hills, the philosophy's got to be the same. Just keep running 5 wides, and they can't cover you, boys. You get open, Wookie will find you.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit ago about some adjustments that Harrison hasn't made tonight. I would think that by now they would have thought to go to the cloud defense on the trip side and not allow for the quick hitches that Oak Hills has been running and having a lot of success
For the people at home that might not know, explain what that kind of defense is.
Okay, what happens in a cloud defense is this. You've got a corner, you've got a linebacker, you have your safety sitting there. You're going to have 2 guys, your inside guy, which is normally your safety, and your linebacker. Those guys are reading the inside and outside receivers. They're dropping. You're going to have your corner sitting. So that's going to take away that opportunity to run that quick hitch every time. What they're doing is they're running a man defense right now, Rob, where if the corner is already stepping back, he's lost a battle. Those 2 steps that he's taking back, it's allowing that hitch to get off, and then they're not making the clear tackle.
Well, let's see how they adjust here. Because the way Wokie's picking them apart, you almost have to go to something. You have to almost, if not that, go cover 2, cover 3. But then also you're not giving up more short stuff underneath,
exactly.
But you're keeping everybody in front of you to keep the it's high risk, high reward, whatever defense you run against this offensive set, and that's why they brought Evan Dreyer in this philosophy here.
Well, the advantage to running that cloud defense on the trip side it enables those guys the defensive guys to read what those inside receivers are going to be running. On the backside, you can run a man defense, which they're doing already, but it enables that middle linebacker to play a little bit more freely in the zone. Right now, they're not allowing that to happen. That's why the slants are open.
Well, the Harrison player, unfortunately, is still down, as all the players on both sides are now down to 1 knee. And with that, we're going to step aside for a few minutes from the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. You're listening to Highlander Football on the ESP Media Sports Network.
Jimmy John's freaky fresh, freaky good.
I thought I was calling Jimmy John's.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Krimchek. Have you ever looked for a sports medicine specialist over the weekend? Well, for the last 20 years, I have welcomed the Friday night football players and the weekend warriors to visit our Saturday morning injury clinic year-round. Our care on Saturday morning is no different than you'll get during the weekday. This includes MRI and physical therapy services. Call us if you need help in the weekends. Call anytime year-round, 513-354-3700. Remember, 513-354-3700.
It is not easy becoming a small business owner. Carly definitely needed some help along the way. Her catering business needed a street address to get started, so I set her up with a mailbox. Now anything she needs to get printed, from business cards to flyers, I'm going to be right there for her. We are readily available to be her taste testers.
From printing to packing, shipping to marketing, together, there's nothing we can't solve. Go to a UPS store today to see.
I'm your tailgate grill. Your buddy was in such a rush to get into the game, he didn't quite put me out. I see you bought the industrial-sized bottle of lighter fluid. Smart. And if you got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Aunt Edna makes the best mashed potatoes. They're very good. Look, there are a lot of very good mashed potatoes. She uses top flight potatoes and isn't scared of the butter. Well, I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying I don't know that I'd put them in the elite category of mashed potatoes. But that doesn't mean I don't like them.
Telling it like it is.
Oh, look, they're second-string mashed potatoes.
It works better on the air.
You can only have 5 quarterbacks in the elite club. You got to kick one of those out. For what? Winning playoff games?
Listen to ESPN Radio anywhere, anytime.
We would like to welcome a new sponsor to Oak Hills Athletics. It's J-Tap's Bar and Grill, located at 6441 Glenway Avenue. We encourage all Highlander fans to stop by, and remember, the kitchen stays open late. You can find them on the web at jtapsbargrill.com.
What is Coca-Cola? Is it an excuse to get together? Since 1886, Coca-Cola has been passing on smiles from generation to generation. We've been giving kids scholarships, like the early birds and the all-nighters. And you get to enjoy what matters most. Coca-Cola. Drink up.
Become a member of Beacon Elite Sports Training today. Let Beacon help you reach your health goals in 2015 with the new Beacon Elite Sports Training program. Group classes and/or personal training are being offered in our 9,000 square foot facility in Beacon's Summit Wood campus.
And welcome back to the Kelsey Chevrolet broadcast booth. 29-28 is our score. As unfortunately we don't have it. Unfortunately, we don't have his number, but unfortunately, a Harrison player has been taken off the field in a stretcher by emergency personnel. All extremities are moving. He's sitting up. He's alert. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, but the way his lower body's strapped down, it just appears he got rolled. He got rolled upon, but hopefully it's nothing serious. But you have to believe that's going to be a rallying point now for the Harrison team.
Well, we just seen him give the normal thumbs up to the crowd to let him know that he's all right. It may just be precautionary measures, but like you said, this may be the rallying cry Harrison needs.
Wilkie looks out to his left, rolls that way. He's got a receiver. He's got Reddington. He's got the first down and more. Out across the 50, 45, lowers his shoulder to the 36-yard line. Second down and 11, no problem for this offense. Wilkie marches him right down the field. It's a 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. 2:51 to go, plenty of time, 2 timeouts.
Wheel route is one of the best routes in football, Rob, and this kid throws it very well.
Trips to the top, single to the bottom. Lewis in the backfield. Wookie looks to his left, comes back to his right, avoids the rush, steps up in the pocket, makes the first man miss. He's going to step out of bounds to the 33. Smart play. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, still got positive yards, didn't force the throw.
Excellent decision. He looked downfield, didn't see what he wanted down in the middle of the field. He tucks the ball, gets a couple of yards, and lives to throw another day.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to. You tell we work way too much together. Live to see another down. There's nothing wrong with that. You got 3 more chances. And we always know they have 3 more chances.
Exactly.
Wookie takes a shotgun snap, hands it off to Lewis. Lewis has a lane to the right, and he just ran into his own offensive lineman. That should have been 6. Unfortunately, he gets wrapped up and only picks up a couple yards. The hole was there.
Yeah, he pushed the circle button a little too soon, started his spin move when he could have just jumped outside and had plenty of room to run.
Big third down, 8 to go, 2:15 to go. Trips to the top, duels at the bottom. Wookie takes that shotgun snap, looks to his right. He's got a receiver out there. It's Lewis, and Lewis is going to go down. Open field tackle, no gain. Very fortunate for Harrison they make that tackle. Otherwise, Lewis is gone for 6, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, at this point, we've got to see Wilkie not throw the safe route. Look to get the first down here on 4th down and keep this drive alive as we're under 2 minutes.
4th and 7, 1:45 to go. Ball's on the right hash mark. He's got Lewis to his left, looks to his right. Good blitz pick up there by Lewis. He's got a receiver. He's got Reddington for the first down and more. Inside the 20 to the 19.
Woo! They came right back with that wheel route they ran on 2nd and 11 just a few plays ago, Rob. The exact same play. Wilkie rolls to his left, looks, finds his receiver, and the receiver does a great job of looking the ball in first, then turning and running.
Ice runs through the veins of the young sophomore quarterback. Can he lead them to a last-second victory? He hands it off. Lewis, he hits the drag down.
Yet again.
Keeps that jersey tucked in, and he might not get it pulled away. Wow. It looked for sure that he was going to run for daylight. Instead, he gets dragged down by the bottom of his jersey.
Timeout called on the play by Harrison.
And it's going to set up a 2nd down and 8 to go, and that's 3 straight plays for Lewis. He's within inches, and I think that's one he's going to want to have back. You might see some extra leg days in the weight room this week, making sure that doesn't happen again.
Well, I think what will happen is he'll see it on film tomorrow. He'll tuck that shirt in, and he won't have these problems anymore.
Ezekiel Elliott just cut it half off, which is now illegal this year, by the way. Nobody likes to see other people show off six-packs.
Running backs and receivers should always have those jerseys tucked in.
Flashing the Rob Dickinson six-pack running down the sidelines one Elliott. Second down, we'll call it 8. Ball's at the 21-yard line, and every time they come down to the final play on the fourth down, Mookie steps up, and he's hit Reddington the last couple times. Like for it not to come down to that, but the other good thing is now the position they're in, you have a very reliable kicker in Rockwood who can kick it from anywhere on the left side of the field if they need to. They send Mookie on a quarterback keeper inside the 20 to the 18, and he'll set up a third down to about 6. 2 timeouts to go. 1:18 to go and counting. Now we have a timeout on the field. The Harrison coaching staff is on the field, and they are irate about something.
Clock is stopped, but it doesn't. We haven't gotten official notice of who called the timeout.
I don't think he has timeouts. I think he was pointing. He said he had 1 left, but the scoreboard shows everybody having 2 the whole game.
Well, it looks like they're going to charge them with their last timeout.
He said he was saying he had 1 more left. Because if you don't have a timeout and you call the timeout, it's a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Exactly. I think there was a little of a dispute there about whether they had any timeouts left to call. They were talking to the line judge at first. The head official comes over, and apparently they did have that one.
That's why you keep that
more
on the field. You keep track of when the timeout's called and how many they have left. And
exactly.
As long as you keep that on the field, it doesn't matter what the scoreboard. The scoreboard can say whatever it wants. Official everything is kept on the field. So a big third down. We're at it again. An interesting third down. It seems like we've been in 3rd and long and 4th and long all night, but that's when Wookie plays his best.
Not as big of a third down as the previous 2 or 3 third downs we've seen, because we have a field goal kicker that could perhaps make a kick from this distance.
3rd down, 8 to go, 1:22 to go. Harrison 29, Oak Hills 28, trips to the top. Wookie's looking that way. He's got a run on the quick slide. He's got his receiver. He's to the 15, the 10, to the 5, ready to the 2. 4 shots from the 2-yard line with 1:14 to go, and Harrison officially out of timeouts.
Well, what we're going to see here is what we should have seen in the Super Bowl here, the Patriots versus Seattle. Will they try to throw it in, or will they run it in here?
Handoff Lewis, they saw it coming. He's going to lose 3 yards, back out to the 5. Clock continues to run, but when you got a quarterback that can throw the corner out the way he does, plenty of time. 1:03 to go, and clock stops as we got a timeout on the field. Timeout Harrison, they shouldn't have any timeouts left.
No, I think Oak Hills just called that timeout.
Well, the head official pointing to the side of Harrison, that should have been a mistake because they should not have any more timeouts.
I do believe that was a mistake, Rob. It should have been a timeout for Oak Hills.
So you got 3 shots now from the 4-yard line. Now, Lewis give the ball, but you got to see him start spreading them out. That's one of the disadvantages to a spread 5 is when you get inside the 20, those lanes, because now everything's condensed in such a small area, and that's where you want to see those 2-back sets where you can just pound. Now it's interesting to see what they can run here.
Well, what they've actually done, what Oak Hills is doing inside the 5 is they're going to a spread 4 with the running back being alongside the quarterback with the opportunity. Now the linebackers have to think run. They have to at least consider the run.
2nd down, goal to go. They'll put the ball at the 5. Wookie rolls to his right. He's got a receiver just out of the reach. He got pressure, so he couldn't step into the throw. And now it's 3rd down and goal to go. He had him in the flat.
Well, now we're in a situation here where Oak Hills has to run the football.
Run it to the middle of the field.
Run the ball to the middle of the field. Harrison is out of timeouts now. You run the ball to the middle of the field. It's no longer about trying to get a first down here. Let the clock run down as far as you can. We're under a minute to play.
Lewis to the right. Wookie rolls that way. He's got a receiver to the end zone, out of his reach. They're looking for a flag. They're not going to get it. It's 4th down, and here comes the kicking unit. A 20-yard field goal to take the lead with 55 seconds to go. Kind of surprised they threw it there. I thought they might run it, kill the clock, use your timeout, ball in the center. Now you're kicking from left hash mark. Number 98, Kevin Rockwood, the 5'7" junior. Can he kick Oak Hills to the lead with 55 seconds to go? Officially a 23-yard kick. Snap. Kick, and it's good! A 23-yard kick by the junior, and the Highlanders take a 31-29 lead as the young sophomore rookie marches them right down the field as they take their second lead of the night.
What's going to be interesting now, Rob, is to see, do you kick the ball deep? You've had a kick returner now from Harrison who has done pretty well running back kickoff returns. He's almost broke 2 tonight. Do you squib kick the ball and give them about 45 seconds to throw the ball deep, or do you take your chances and kick it deep?
I squib it.
I squib it as well.
Well, the way things are going, and you might as well just onside kick it at this point. If they don't want to run my flea flicker, then they can onside kick me one.
We've been in this situation before.
Hey, our flea flicker days go a long way back.
We've seen Roger Bacon make a play like this in the playoffs.
A double
reverse pass.
Double reverse wide receiver pass is not going to fool him here. I'm pretty positive that they're going to have 10 guys deep enough. That play's not going to work, as it did in that Wyoming playoff game. As Rockwood now places the ball at the center of the 40. 50 seconds to go. 31 Oak Hills, 29 Harrison. The young sophomore quarterback. Did he just lead his team to his first varsity win?
Now, Rob, be advised that they only lead this game by 2 points. A field goal wins it for Harrison.
We talked about the leg on that freshman earlier.
Exactly.
An extra point's a lot different than a 50-yarder to win the game. As Smith runs over, he fields it. He runs backwards to around the goal line. He cuts up the middle, hops to the outside, and he is dragged down at the 13-yard line. Good tackle, Sawyer Klingenhofer, able to throw him down to allow Smith nothing on the return. 44 seconds to go.
No timeouts for Harrison, and so everything will be going out route. Everything will be going out route as they'll try to catch and get out of bounds and get enough yardage to at least attempt a field goal.
Nobody gets behind you.
Exactly.
They roll 3 safeties deep. Klingenhofer standing back at the 35. 5 wide, 4 wide receivers. Mitchell Hogue, a running back to his left. Here comes the pressure. They got a receiver to the outside. Smith, and it went through his hands. He was expecting the hit from Caleb Hudson. He took his eyes off the ball, and it's 2nd down and 10 to go.
It actually looks like he was trying to catch and run. He wanted to catch that football, get a few yards, and get out of bounds. But the golden rule is catch first and then turn and run.
2nd down, 10 to go, 40 seconds to go. Hogue rolls to his right. He's got a receiver, and he tiptoes in. That would have been a catch in the NFL at the 19-yard line. Nice catch, Mitchell Crawford, the junior wide receiver, able to get both toes down.
Yeah. 3rd down in a very convertible 3, but they've got to go the length of the field here, Rob. They're going to have to take some chances down the sideline.
35 seconds to go. 31-29 Oak Hills. Coach Dreyer's trying to call a timeout, and he's going to get it with 35 seconds to go. And just keep they can have a 1st down, just keep everything in front of you, basically should be the message.
Well, what you want to do too as well is not give up the deep out routes. You don't want them to get 10 yards on an out route or 15 yards on a corner route, tippy-toe and get out of bounds with no timeouts. You want to keep everything in the field of play with them having 0 timeouts remaining.
Keep everything in front of you and tackle.
Exactly.
If you're ever going to make a tackle, this is that time to make the tackle. As Oak Hills, who didn't get their first win last year until week 5 and a 2-8 season, even though they had plenty of chances. This is one of those games. Last year they lost a year ago 14-7 in a game that they really dominated, especially on the defensive side, as they look to finish this 10-game series at 7-3. Coach Dreyer giving his final instructions to his Highlander defense. Klingenhofer and company, along with Tyler Parrish. Parrish, number 11, he's played a huge game tonight as well, along with Ben McGinnis. Let's see if they can get some more pressure, and that helps. Not having to blitz and get pressure from your front four as Harrison comes from the sideline. Mitchell Hogue, a week ago, Harrison lost in the final minutes after blowing a 9-point lead to East Central. Can Oak Hills make that 2 weeks in a row? The defense is set, drop back deep into coverage as Flynn Jonathan, 22. Mitchell Hogue looks to his right, he's getting pressure, he's hit from behind, and it's almost picked off right in front of the hands of Drew Josworth. Good pressure on the backside, Ben McGinnis and company, and it's 4th down and 4 to go.
Very surprised to see Harrison running a rollout play right there. You take your backside receiver completely out of the play when you do that, and you're running a slot or a trips to your backside, so you're looking for one receiver. Very surprised to see that here.
Big 4th down. Hogue rolls that way. Here comes Parrish. He catches it. It's close to a 1st down. He's got the 1st down by a yard. 24 seconds to go. They needed 4. They got 4.25 now to move the chains.
Yeah, and that'll stop the clock and just as they reset the ball.
Just to reset the chains.
Just to reset the chains.
At the high school level, that's fine. But I think eventually, especially the cut, you just got to get rid of stopping the clock on 1st down. These teams are running just too many plays. Now the clock continues to run. He's going for the deep ball. He's got Smith. The ball's tipped up. Tipped up again. Picked up. Oh, then it's dropped. Oh, the DB had it on the ground. It was deflected 4 times. And then Jonathan couldn't hold on to it. Caleb Hudson had his hands on it. 2 Harrison receivers had their hands on it. And as soon as it hit the ground, it came loose. The Oak Hill sideline was on the field. They thought they had the game won. And now Smith is hurt. Their leading wide receiver for Harrison is sitting at the 45, and he's not getting up. That's a huge loss for Harrison right here.
Yeah, they really need him to finish out this football game, and he appears to be in a lot of pain.
And that's a guy that's had a huge football game. An 81-yard touchdown catch, a 21-yard jet sweep. He's flipped the field on the return game. That's a dangerous weapon. They're losing here with just 16 seconds to go. They're going to miss that vertical threat.
Without a doubt, and I think that he was the go-to man on this drive. So without him, who do you go to now? Who do you put your trust into to stretch the field and get the necessary yardage to even attempt a field goal?
That's somebody, Smith, you can almost see like on a hook and ladder. If the guy in front of him catch it, you pitch it back. With this much time left, if you're going to do something with someone with that kind of speed.
Not too sure, right? I mean, we've gone from the flea flicker now to the hook and ladder.
Time and position.
Not sure too many high schools have those plays in their playbooks anymore.
Oak Hill's looking to take a step back as they look to reach the playoffs for the first time since 1999. They had a chance a few years ago with back-to-back 5-5 seasons. Really, they had a 5-2 season going a couple years ago, and unfortunately dropped some heartbreakers at the end. But this team has always been close. They were really close last year. 2-8 doesn't say a lot. A 14-13 loss to Loveland they got coming up next week in their home opener. They lost to Harrison 14-7. A lot of close games. They hung with Colerain that whole game. They lost 20. They lost to Lakota East 20-0. Lakota East, an 8-win team a year ago. They were with Colerain to the very end as Colerain scored a late touchdown to make it a 20-0 win. So the Highlanders have not been that far away, and now they have the offense to complement the defense. And now you saw that defense here in the second half. Really just a couple busted plays on fortunate tips for Harrison, and otherwise this game already would have been over.
Watching this team tonight, I think Oak Hills can play with all of the big teams in this area.
Just about getting confidence and the system down. No thinking, just reacting. We kind of saw that in the second quarter.
Exactly.
The team started to make that turnaround. Second down, 10 to go, 16 seconds to go. The Highlanders trying to notch their first win on the 2015 season. Make one more step to the first playoff appearance since '99 as Smith still slow to get off the field, and hopefully that's just cramps.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he hyperextended his knee, but he was able to walk off of the field under his own power.
16 seconds to go. Shotgun formation for Hogue. Ball's at his 25. Here comes pressure from McGinnis. He airs it out. This is a jump ball. It should be picked off, and it's dropped. Naber and company, or Caleb Hudson and company over there, along with Drew Josworth. Josworth able to knock it down. Josworth's had a pretty good game as a defensive back tonight as well. A few good tackles and his third deflected pass.
Yeah, definitely a lot of open field tackles tonight for him to stop what could have been huge plays.
Third down, 10 to go. 10 seconds left, and if tackled short of the 10 yards, this could be the final play of the game. The Highlander defense, Caleb Hudson and company, roll back 3 deep. Here comes Klingenhofer over the middle. If they tackle him down, it's over. And it's going to be close to first down. They stop the clock with 1 second to go. They're going to say he got the first down. It's over. The clock starts, it's at zeros. Now they're going to put 1 second back on this clock. But as soon as the chains are set, the clock starts. Coach Dreyer's already 5 yards down the field. He's ready to celebrate win number 1 of many here with the Highlanders football program.
I'm not sure what's going on here, Rob. They're allowing them to sub and to get set up here.
Oh,
they're asking for a measurement. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
As soon as they blow it in, game's over.
Well, that's not what's going to happen because Harrison is already set up. They were using this as a way to get everybody to the line of scrimmage to run one more play, and they did not get the first down. They're short.
As soon as the chains start, they blow the whistle. The clock has to start.
Yeah.
So as soon as they blow the whistle, they have to snap it on that instant. If they don't, the game is over.
Yeah, see, they're already set. The sticks still have to get back to the sideline, and Harrison is ready for one more play.
1 second to go. 31-29. Whistles everywhere. Oak Hills calls a timeout, so they're going to leave the 1 second up there. I think it's smart from this aspect. Get everybody on the same page and have them ready. Don't look for any surprises. He knows they're going to get the snap off. If they're going to let him get the snap off, let's be prepared for it.
Right, exactly. There was so much pandemonium going on right there between Harrison trying to get lined up.
And it's also, not to interrupt, but it's Coach Dreyer. He's going out there, and he has every right to, because that clock should have been at zeros. So it gives his defensive coordinator time to do his job, and it gives him his job of being able to say, hey, we're at zeros. You guys need to go talk about this.
Yeah, well, he definitely went over to one of the officials and wanted some answers as to why that final second was left on the clock.
And I don't blame him. He was a lot more easy going than I would have been in that situation. 1 second to go. 31-29 Highlanders. They drop 4 safeties deep, 30 yards back. Mitchell Hogue on the final play lets it go. He throw up a jump ball. The official gets it away, and it falls to the turf. It's over. The Highlanders come into Harrison on the West Side Rivalry and knock off the Wildcats in a last-second thrilling victory, 31-29.
Unbelievable football game. It's upsetting that someone has to lose a game of this stature because both teams played extremely well tonight, Rob. Oak Hill showing a lot of grit, a lot of courage, coming back from 2 touchdowns down to win tonight's football game.
How about 17 fourth-quarter points out of this Oak Hills? That offense, he definitely has them running on all cylinders right now. And they has to be huge going to a huge game next week against Loveland with 5 Division I prospects on that offensive side.
Yeah, I think one of the big statistics that we have to talk about is young Wilkie going from throwing 4 interceptions a week ago to no interceptions tonight, 2 touchdown passes, and a key drive that led to the game-winning field goal.
Actually, Wilkie with 3 touchdown passes tonight.
Okay.
There's 2 in the fourth quarter. It's just exceptional quarterback play. I'd love to see his quarterback rating after tonight. He started the first half, so kind of slow, 13 of 27. Really picked it up, but more importantly, 4th down conversions. He had 2 big ones late at the end of the game. Didn't let the pressure get to him. Stood up and led that team to victory.
Yeah, never seen a team go for so many 4th downs where the 4th down conversion percentage even really matters. But just like you talked about, it's a huge statistic to see them convert so many 4th downs tonight.
Especially, me and Coach Dreyer talked about this in the pregame show a week ago. You have to learn how to win, how to get that winning culture. And games like this is how you learn how to win, and that really propels a program.
Yeah, definitely. And they actually went out and won this game tonight. They had an opportunity to throw the game away with Harrison, but they continued to fight defensively. They made plays, put Harrison in some bad situations in that last drive that won the football game for them.
A big win for the Highlanders as they move into next week with the home opener under Coach Dreyer against the Loveland Tigers, one of the higher-ranked teams in the state, pretty well known, come off a state championship 2 weeks ago. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be exciting. This is a high-powered offense. They've got a great defense. If they would just tackle, if they would just wrap guys up and bring them down, this is an Oak Hills team that could make the playoffs.
Well, they're going to take one more step closer to the playoffs next week as they come home for the home opener against the Loveland Tigers and Coach Evan Dreyer's home debut with the Highlanders. Once again, our final score from Harrison is the Highlanders on the winning side after 17 fourth-quarter points, including Jake Wokey leading his team down to a last-second victory, capped off by a 23-yard Kevin Rockwood field goal with just 50 seconds to go. Once again, for the coach, Tony Brave, for Rob Dickinson, for Rob Abel, and for everybody else here from Oak Hills and ESP Media, my name is Rob Roberts. Until next week, starting at 6:30 with the pregame show, I'm Rob Roberts. Good night, everybody.
Sometimes I get